This podcast is created for adult audiences only and contains content that may be alarming to some viewers. Listener discretion is advised. Any badass views or opinions about to hear are those of the hosts and do not represent those of the people, institutions, or organizations that the podcast may or may not be associated with. So just don't be a dick. You know what you're getting yourself into.
What? Okay. Mics are hot.
Girls Gone Weird.
Hey, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to Girls Gone Weird. This is Nicole.
And this is Dini.
And we're back. I feel like I say that every time.
We're back.
We're back.
We are back. I'm excited to be back.
I am too.
Yes.
And hopefully, I think we got it straightened out this time. It's going to sound nice and clear.
Nice. Yeah, we apologize again, as we've already done multiple times, about last episode. We got such fancy new things, and we are figuring it out.
We're figuring it out.
We're getting it done.
I feel like most people are like, oh, Nicole says that every time that it's shitty audio, and it never is. But then last time, everybody was like, whoa.
That was awful.
It was terrible. But it was better than nothing, right?
No, it was better than nothing. And she did, guys, work so incredibly hard trying to figure it out.
That's the best I could get it with
Yeah.
like over 10 hours of editing.
Yeah. She did such a good job, but it was awful. It was awful to listen. No, it's not your fault. I'm giving you credit 'cause I'm the person who knew.
Thanks.
And I'm not a picky person, but that was awful.
It was terrible.
It was terrible.
Yep. We're working with these new mics. Whatever. Boring, boring, blah, blah, blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
We're good.
And I'll go in right away and just let you guys know I am so sorry that we skipped last week. It wasn't necessarily a skip. We had something really bad happen for people that are on like Facebook and Instagram. Mm-hmm. They know, but in case you're just jumping in and everything like that, everyone's probably heard Ramona in the back and have heard about her. She is our mascot pig, and she passed away on Monday night. It was very unexpected, very fast. Mm-hmm. If you want to know more, of course, go on Instagram. I wrote a whole post. I'm having a big life change, but pretty much what happened was she is a big girl, and she tore down a popcorn stand that we have and got into Flavorall popcorn seasoning. I don't know if you guys know what that is. It's delicious. I understand why she worked so hard to get to it.
It's like salt on steroids.
It's salt on steroids, and she just went pound town on it immediately, which I didn't even think anything of it. I was just like, I got to her really fast. I didn't think like her
she's
taking
a big girl. She's heavy. Like when she wants something, you need 4 people to wrangle
she
her.
could lift like 100 pounds, like easily, which was super cool. Another thing I loved about her, but not in this case. It wasn't cool. I put her outside immediately to clean up everything, and then it was like 30 seconds, and I started walking upstairs. It was like 30 seconds, and then Mark like ran up. He's like, "Did Ramona fall down the stairs or something? She's on her side." And I'm like, no, what do you, and I ran immediately. Mm-hmm. And then she was having a seizure, and it was like, I put her in my arms, and then my husband was trying to, when you have a seizure, trying to make sure she doesn't bite her tongue or anything. Yeah. And it was just instant. Bam.
Yep. You're gone.
And that's when we learned about how pigs are with salt. It's really, them just having any sort of salt, but like large amounts of salt, it causes a brain aneurysm almost immediately.
Yeah, extremely toxic.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't even, there wasn't anything I could do. It was absolutely awful.
Yeah, like at that point you don't even have enough time to like induce vomiting.
No.
Like it's just,
it was quick, which again, it makes me really happy, but it was just awful. I've been a mopey Nancy this last week, and I thank everyone that wrote really nice messages, and all my friends and family for being there. Like I said, it's really weird. Actually having Nicole here today is really helpful because I've just been moping around the house and really depressed. And now I'm like, oh, I think I need to get out and just clear my brain, because I was talking to Nicole about this, why it seems to be such a hard death, I think, for even my daughter and my husband, even as she was such a huge part of our lives. And I mean, I said, I'm so used to having 100 pounds on my chest all day, or like cuddling with her and sleeping with her, and like her just being there, and like every single thing, like even just worrying about what's on the floor and feeding her. Like I grocery shopped, even I got some groceries this morning, and I accidentally bought like 3 bags of apples.
Yeah.
Because I was just so used to every time.
Yep.
Because she was my little, that's all she ate. It's
Yeah.
just like fruit. She was my little fruitarian. So it's just, and then it makes me think about it all over again.
Yeah.
So, you know, she was really young. She was only like a year. Pigs live till like, they're like, could be 20.
Yeah.
If they're healthy. So it was a lot.
It was pretty devastating. Yeah.
Yeah.
And definitely not what we're expecting.
No.
And especially the night before recording. So when she told me, I was like, oh my God, you know.
No, I couldn't even think about recording. I had to work bingo that night, and I
don't
had
even
to put
know
my
how you
my
did
little
that.
fake face,
Little fake smiles for
my
everybody.
little fake smiles.
Yeah.
And,
so it's been rough.
Yeah, and you guys who are been with us understand it. It's like I don't think a lot of people, because other farmers, be like, "Well, it's just a pig."
Yeah.
But I feel like people, if they've lived around pigs, like you kind of saw our relationship, everything, they're smarter than dogs. They're cleaner than dogs. The only reason they ever got enslaved by humans in the first place was because they were such docile, smart animals, and like just like cats, they made themselves taken care of. We just have to live in a place in America, at least, where everyone's different, but in America where we don't humanize them so that we can eat them, because it just feels better when you're eating bacon not to think of the face behind it. It just does. I used to do the same thing.
Yeah.
So like people are listening, it's like, that's crazy. It's not. They're very amazing, smart creatures. I tell everyone, like, if you're ever thinking of adopting an animal, even if you're thinking like I can have a dog or a cat, like consider a pig. No, you have the space, because everyone thinks they have a teacup pig.
Yeah.
But they don't.
They don't stay that way.
No, and you have to have barriers and stuff like that, obviously, because when they get older, they could take a fridge apart if they wanted to.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're very sweet creatures. Look at your town. Maybe you can have a pet one, because a lot need adopting, and they're some of the most amazing creatures. I'm glad I had her for a year and lived that close to her. So I wish everyone did that and thought about that. So
she was a little sweetie darling, and
yeah.
I feel like a lot of people didn't know, like, people think, oh, she rescued a pig, she's got a pet pig, like assumes that Ramona still is outside most of the time, but no, she was an indoor. Yeah, she was under the covers spooning. She was just like a dog. Imagine your beloved
a very
pet
heavy dog.
You're very heavy, very forward,
solid.
She's gonna trample you down if you drop anything to eat.
Yeah, absolutely. So we loved her. She was our mascot. Yeah. And she'll always be with us. But thank you to everybody who wrote really, really kind things. Yes. For being understanding. Yeah. And if you want to know more about everything, I wrote it down online, because that was just the easiest way. Yeah. So, yeah. But yeah, so thank you everyone for that.
Yes. Yes. And thank you for sharing. I asked her if she wanted to touch on it, because I want to be sensitive to you. But I appreciate it. Good for people that aren't again, like we said, aren't on social media, and they're like, where were you last week? So
I always want this podcast, you guys, we're ourselves on here. We don't fake anything or anything like that. So of course I'll always try to be honest with you guys, even when it's hard. So yep. And I appreciate you. That.
Well, let's go ahead and dedicate this episode to Ramona.
Oh, she would love this episode.
Yeah, let's do that. Well, with that, I'm gonna take a little weed here.
Oh, let me give you the name of it. I got to pick from 4 this time, so.
She was trying to sell me some strawberry something last time.
Yeah, but strawberry biscotti probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a Jelly Belts.
Jelly Belts.
BELTZ.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Never heard of that.
No.
Jelly Belts.
Jelly Belts.
Fun.
Fun. I have to say something about your outfit, which is totally adorable. It's like a little hoodie, and it has like, it's just like a human skeleton. But what I love about it is, only my Real Housewife people are going to understand this. From a certain like length away, it looks like you're like in full Versace right now.
This is full Versace.
Like the necklace, everything from like this angle. If I look around, I'm like, was this bitch just walking in my house in full Versace?
Yeah, I am. You know I am. I'm the bougie bitch here.
It's a boozy bitch.
Well, thank you. We're going to pretend it's Versace.
You're looking like a beautiful housewife right now.
Thank you. Let's see. Do we have any other updates?
No, not really. I've just been a Mosey Mope. What about you?
Mosey Mope.
Any death news? Should we go into that?
Let's go into some death news.
All right, ready?
Ooh. Welcome to Nicole's Death News. I do have some more death news than I did last week.
Nice.
So it's...
She's been working.
I've been working, you guys.
She has a job ski now, like a full job ski.
I have got 87 hours on this check.
That's awesome.
It's technically overtime. Mm-hmm. So I've been working very hard. And it's been good. It's been like steady and kind of feeling like my old job where I'm just like in it and they know they can call me and
yeah, they trust you. You're in the groove of it.
Yeah.
It's not new. They don't have to train you or anything.
I took like an entire week on call and there was one day in between that they were going to give me off. It was like Thursday. And then the guy said he couldn't do it. And I was like, well, who are you going to have? You know, because I was working a service that day. I was like, well, who's going to be on call tonight? And they're like, well, we don't know yet. But we didn't want to ask you because we know you've been on call for like a week and that's just a lot. And I was like, I will take it. Like, don't ever not ask me. Like, yeah, sure. Sometimes I'll say no or I can't. Like today they asked me to go to Fargo and I was like, I'm tied up today. But no, I'll take it, please. Yeah. And they're like, oh, great. I'm like, you guys, I'm used to being on call 24/7, 365 in Alabama. So like, this is different having a whole like legit schedule.
Especially when you're in like even helping and they're just they have other people, but you're the one taking it. That's awesome. Then they're gonna keep going to you, make more money.
I hope so. That's where the money's at. Because if I don't even take a body and I'm making money, so
that's sweet.
Yeah, I got my.
Oh, is this okay?
To clear me up a little bit.
Yeah, Nicole's trying to learn how to be around my house with her allergies because I have lots of animals.
Yeah.
And
sniffles.
We're trying to figure it out. So she just put something up her nose. Like she looks like she had like a little fancy cocaine device.
I did. It is like, it's got like two protruding nozzles that go into your nostrils. Yeah. And then it's like spearmint scent. And you just like inhale it and it clears out your sinuses. It's actually, well, I don't want to say it's made for, but a lot of people use it for, and I purchased it for when I'm around a really smelly dead body. Yeah. So it's in my like work stuff. So if somebody's stinking in the van and I got to put it up my nose while I'm driving, Nice. I've only had to use it once when I picked up some inmate in Alabama last year.
Is it helping right now with?
A little bit. It clears me up a little bit. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I am allergic to all of your animals. Yeah. So we're trying to work that out. Because I say every I'm like, I'm getting sick or have allergies. But now I really am going to have allergies like every single time. Yep. So we'll see. But if you hear me sniffling, that's why.
I
know. Okay.
Fucking nerd.
I'm a fucking nerd over here.
Fucking nerd.
I'm allergic to trees. Okay. So I'm trying to figure out where to even go from here. So yeah, I've been working a lot and I guess I've started to get a reputation as like being a pretty good worker too, because I keep hearing things like my coworker, like funeral director was like, oh, the general manager, regional manager was complimenting you again. And I was like, oh, well, what did he say? And he was like, he just said that like, somebody had asked if you were going to get started with your cremationist program. And I think he had asked that. And I said, oh no, she's already started. And he's like, oh wow, who got her set up with that? And she was like, she did it herself. Like she took initiative and she just did it. And he was like, well, that's what I like to see. I like to see people taking an initiative and being, not excited for the job, but you know what I mean? Because they did, And I guess that's another piece of death news. I started my cremationist program.
We live in such a small town now, so like word of mouth is everything. Yeah. Being in a small town, I should make up like the weirdest rumor about you and see if we hear it back. Not a bad one. I'm not saying like one that would ever hurt you, but I'm trying to figure this out. Be like, I saw her in a corner like eating like an apple, like going aggressively an apple, like something that doesn't hurt you.
Like every day. It's got to be.
I'm just like every day at 3 o'clock. Yeah, just like something weird and see if we get back to it.
I need some apple.
Everyone just looking, just from a corner at the bar, just staring at you. Like, is that apple girl?
Maybe the apple girl. Oh, we'll try.
I like how everyone's helping her in her work, and her friend is like, let's do it.
Let's see what kind of rumor we get back. Like, But yeah, no, they've been talking me up, and it's felt good. It always feels good to be recognized, and they're talking about how much of a fucking rock star I am.
Yeah.
They literally use those terms. I heard she's a fucking rock star.
Well, you are in fucking
And
Versace
she's like, she
right
is a
now.
rock star. And I'm like, I guess I am a rock star, you guys. Oh my God. But yeah, no, so I started my cremationist modules. I should be done. Honestly, I could be done tonight if I really put my all into it, but it's long and it's,
What is it all like? Like, what is it? Because you didn't have to go through this much in Alabama, right, to get this?
No, and this is, well, actually, yes, in Alabama, you would have to go through pretty much all of this.
Okay, the same.
Exact same thing. Yep. So it starts off with like the history of cremation and kind of how it started, which I already knew. Not to brag.
Yeah.
I think we've gone into those dates. And then they start talking about the morals of it and how to lead with your morals and just certain legalities, and then going into the machines and different kind of machines and what they do and how they work in the, like, basically the chemistry of them, because things are creating reactions and like they're going to start asking me, this test is going to bring out some like chemistry fucking questions, and I'm like, okay, I need to remember this. Like, those are the things where I'm like, yeah, I know how to do a lot of it, but I'm going to have to know all the back shit about it.
Well, it also makes sense. I like that they say lead with your morals. That's really awesome that they focus on that. And I like that you're learning that, because what's going to happen is, like, if you're alone and you're, like, cremating and, like, all of a sudden, like, someone's toe on his left side pops, you're going to be like, oh, shit. What's happened?
His toe on his left side
I know,
popped.
just making... trying to...
Everyone, hold up. His toe on his left side
His left
popped.
side.
What do we do?
There's this chemical reaction somehow in his body that does this with this one cell. I don't know.
It wasn't the right. It was the left.
Your left or his left?
Oh, that's a great question. Stage left. So yeah, I can't fly through it as quickly as I thought I would. But I'll be able to wrap up soon, and then I'll be able to start cremating. So that's exciting.
I'm proud of you. Look at you go.
Thank you. What else? So, okay, so we worked this service, and it was in Wahpeton, North Dakota, which is like kind of 45-minute drive.
Yeah.
It's not too far. And it was an evening, like, visitation at this Catholic church, and it was really, really long. So we were there until like 9:30 p.m. in Wahpeton. And so we're wrapping up. We are wrapping up the service. We're getting all of the flowers back into the van, and basically just getting ready to close the church and go. So we have everything loaded, and I'm just going to call her Kay. I'm going to start doing this again.
Yeah.
So I was working with Kay, and she's about to go inside, and she's like, all right, all we need to get is Mr. So-and-so. We got to get the body. The casket is still inside. That was the last piece we wanted to load, because you never want to leave somebody in a casket in a hearse outside by theirself, kind of.
Yeah, that is kind of.
At least in the church, there was
weird,
like, the father was there. And so we turn around and go back inside, and the door's locked on us. And we get completely locked out of this church at 9:30 at night. Everybody had gone that we could see, and we're like,
And it's small town dark.
oh, it's small town dark.
Yeah.
And we're like, what do we fucking do? Like, we have the number to the family, but we don't need the family, we need the church. If you call a church line, you're going to get an answering machine.
You need to find the pastor.
You're not going to, like, we need the pastor's number.
Yeah.
We can't, no. So we're sitting here banging on doors. I'm rolling around to the side door. We're banging for like 15 minutes. And we're like, okay, we can't just leave this body in this church. And we finally got a hold of somebody within the church, and they came and let us back in.
Oh, no.
But it was like 10 o'clock by the time we got it. We're just like, oh my God. We were having such a freak out moment. And then I'm unloading the flowers when we get back to the funeral home. And in Minnesota, I guess in Alabama, they don't give a fuck. We don't do this. But in Minnesota, we cover the flowers with plastic bags to protect them.
Yeah.
So
it is cold. It's a cold state.
It's cold, yeah.
It keeps them nicer.
And so we had for the big, like, blanket that they put on top of the casket. It's that's what we call it in Alabama. I guess they don't call it here, but the flowers that go on top of the casket it's called a blanket. And so that couldn't fit a bag over it, so we had to cut a like cheap garbage bag in half and kind of lay it over the flowers. And I'm going to put the flowers, I'm taking the flowers out of the hearse, and Kay's standing in front of me watching me do it. And then a gust of wind blows, and the plastic bag goes completely over my head. And my nose, like, you know how when, like, it literally, my nose and my mouth was sucking plastic, and she could see just probably my face. And I immediately was like, oh my God, I'm gonna die.
Question about this bag, though. Was it scented or was it?
Oh my God, it was not fabulous.
Thank God. Could you imagine how awful that would be?
I probably would have puked.
I would have died.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine Kay being the person to see that all happen and then she starts puking for no reason?
And you're puking, but it's going right back in your face because you have the bag holding it on your face.
And then leaking on the flowers.
Oh no.
It would have been terrible.
Fabuloso would have done that.
But I 100% saw my life flash before my eyes, and that 3 seconds bag was wrapped over my head. The wind was so strong, too. It was like keeping it. She was like, let me help you. Pull up my face. I was like, oh, God. That's one of those times where you wish, like, it's like the Truman Show and your whole life is being recorded. And you can press rewind and be like, I got to see that over again. I need to rewind.
Well, I'm totally convinced we're in a simulation, especially this last week. Every time something bad, I'm like, this is a simulation. What are they doing?
Oh,
I'm like, we're in a simulation. This is part of your simulation. You'll see it one day, maybe.
I'll see it one day. I hope when my life is actually flashing before my eyes, that scene plays.
There's like sweet, like when your child's born, you're holding your child. Your wedding day, like just really sweet things in
the plastic bag, the roses
on your face. Yep.
Oh my God. Yeah, that would be lovely. So yeah, that was hilarious. Also, there was one day that I had to go in, or no, I didn't have to go in. It was my day off. It was the day where I was like, who's working tonight? And they were like, we don't have anybody. And I was like, because I was working. It wasn't a service. They're like, oh, just come in and you can just hang out today. Like just work, just be here, which is the first time I've done that. Like I would do that all the time in Alabama. They'd be like, oh, you just want to come in and help out with anything that might be around the office. I'd be moving caskets. I'd clean this. I'd do the, just random office shit. And they're like, why don't you come in and do that here? Because they were short-staffed that day. I was like, okay, that's fine. Actually, no, I just lied. I didn't say, okay, that's fine. I said, actually, I have a lot of laundry to do. Okay, that's fine.
That's fine.
I was like, I would love to. I was like, but I have I have all my laundry. Like this was going to be my laundry day because it was the week that I was working all week. This is within my 85-hour. I was like, I need to do laundry. And they're like, oh, you can just do it upstairs. And I was like, what?
It's going to be life-changing for you. This is going to be so nice to be able to like do your laundry during work.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
You guys, there's a whole apartment upstairs that I did not know about. I didn't even know I was like, how do you get in? There's a door in the garage I didn't even see. So they show me upstairs. It's a whole ass apartment. If I needed to live up there.
2 bedroom?
It's a 1 bedroom.
Okay.
Technically it's a 2 bedroom, but the other bedroom is being used as storage. But yeah, no, there have been at least 2 people in the last year or 2 that have gone up and lived up there for a little bit because they've been in between something. So it's functioning. It's got a kitchen, dishwasher, laundry.
That's so nice.
Yeah. And he's like, you just go up there. So I basically spent 7 hours doing laundry and getting paid for it at work.
Yeah.
And doing this whole episode, I did all my notes sitting up in the apartment, just because there really wasn't anything to do around the office.
Yeah.
Like we don't keep caskets on hand at this location where before, guys know I was talking about, oh, I'm moving caskets around. We don't keep any. They all get shipped to us from Fargo when we need them.
That would have to be like instant. Well, I guess Fargo's Fargo's close, but yeah, that makes sense, I guess. We don't have the warehouse space or whatever, but my gosh, I never even thought about that. It had to be so fast.
Yeah, it works. It works fine, I guess, but it was weird to not have just a stock of them at some point.
They do have the room in there, right? Where you can see part of the casket, like the little clip. Yes, I remember that.
Yep. There was Yeah,
I
there's
love those
just-
walls. I don't know why. I just want to go and
sample walls.
I want. I love a good casket sample wall.
Yeah, I was in the arrangement room. I
Maybe
like
that
an
would be
actual
good artwork right here, right? That could be our.
would be-
That would be our artwork. Wouldn't be like casket sample walls. You should see if they have like old ones laying in that
I should.
room and be like, if they don't give a shit.
Yeah. Oh,
Ooh,
that would be so
that would be
cool.
badass.
I'm gonna start
Let's do
asking
it.
questions.
We're gonna make it a landmark in this house. This wall right here will be
So,
this casket.
if anybody doesn't know what we're talking about,
Yeah, sorry guys.
sometimes in a funeral home, they have an arrangement room and they've got, it's not like in Alabama, it was literally caskets. You can pick a casket if it's the whole thing, but these sample walls are like, it's just a corner. It's like a triangle. It's the corner of one casket drilled into a wall. So you can just see the quick little 12-inch sample of the wood, the fabric, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, it has the wood, the fabric. Sometimes it has like a little thing just says like what it is.
Yeah.
Like this is the beautiful cherry wood.
Just beautiful
2000.
cherry wood.
Beautiful cherry. This is beautiful cherry wood. With an extra double silk lining so that all these things don't go on your family when they're dead.
Oh, your juices don't leak out.
Yeah.
It's very absorbent.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh God, speaking of, okay, I wasn't going to mention this at first, but I feel like it's naturally progressing into this, talking about it. So the first time I went into this sample wall room was like, it was like last week, because I'd never been in there. And I was like, oh my God, I worked here for 2 months. I've never walked in here. And I walk in and I see the sample wall. They apparently have, and maybe they did this in Alabama and I just didn't notice. But I guess because the pricing is on the walls and everything, like it's kind of in your face, you can't not notice. They charge, and I say they, it is us. So technically I'm talking shit about my own company right now. So
And I bet a lot of other companies were exactly the same as yours.
I'm pretty sure
just it's all
completely,
pretty level.
and this is the reason I'd like to change everything. They charge close to $300 something for your normal cardboard box you're cremated in.
Yeah.
Literally cardboard box. There's nothing else to it. I assemble it myself. It comes flat. And they charge about 20, it's like $20 an actual box.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine that fucking overhead?
Yeah.
$20 box they sell for over $300. Insane.
It is insane.
And then they try to upsell people. And now when I'm saying they, I'm just saying the general funeral industry. Right now.
Yeah, it's the industry.
Yeah. They charge, or they try to convince people that, oh, you could use this standard cremation box, or you can buy one that's a step up nicer that's like, it's still cardboard and it's still flimsy, but it has some fabric inside.
Yeah.
And
that's
it's
going
black
to burn.
cardboard.
That's going to burn. Yeah.
And they charge another $300 for that one. $600 something for more fucking cardboard. And then another one is like a pine box. It's not like a coffin, but it's like a nice, that's more substantial. But fuck no, they're charging $900 something for it.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy town.
Made me so mad. I stormed out of there so fast. I was like, I had to ask my coworker. I was like, how much do we get those for cost? And she's like, it's like $20. And I was like, that's insane. She goes, yeah, I don't upsell those.
No.
She goes, they want us to. But I was like, would you rather have me do that or have a better, like, moral standard and like...
Well, they said morals number one.
Exactly.
I think morals number one.
Yep.
100%.
And that, I think that's where it comes in. Where like, yes, we were acquired by this big company, but they're letting us, I mean, aside from pricing and shit, they're kind of letting us do our thing. They're not like numbers on us. But because she's like, I'm not fucking doing it.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It is. It's crazy.
So my next question is, if, you can bring everything yourself to your funeral, you can buy your own casket on Amazon and use it at a funeral home. We've talked about this. If you don't remember, go to Death Part 1 episode. We talk all about this stuff.
Yeah, please
bring your own casket. You can have it shipped directly, or you can bring it yourself. You can make one. You can buy your own urn, your own jewelry.
Yes. Always buy your own urn. They cost so much money there.
Go buy a cookie jar from an antique shop for $20, $30. Bring all your own stuff.
The ones that I have,
can you bring your own box?
So much. Yeah, bring your own box.
I mean, I don't know if that's something they allow, or if there's like some, I guess I'll learn with my test here, if there's some sort of like standard that you have to use for legal, I don't know.
But I mean, is it like a special cardboard like that can go in there? But it's like cardboard's cardboard. And you probably want it to be as basic as possible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't want the extra.
And
You want to be basic.
The only thing I can think of is that it's just an awkward size. It's just, long 6-foot boxes.
But
and
you
lids.
could get that. You could get one of those.
The only thing I was like, maybe they're just sell them bulk and you can't like buy one box online.
Yeah, there has to be a way. I'd make my own. Okay, I'm gonna make my own box. Mark wants to be creamy. I'm just gonna like take his beer boxes and just duct tape them together.
I'm gonna make my own.
Fuck it.
I like that.
I'm that trash. I have no problem. I don't feel embarrassment for that shit. I'll come in with my box that I duct taped together for $300. It's crazy.
I don't know why you wouldn't if you could.
When I've
You're
seen,
rich, I guess.
Yeah,
Rich people.
Yeah, it's crazy. No, but I also think you get them at a grieving time, and I don't think people also know.
Oh,
They
absolutely
just
not.
don't know, or they're like, well, this is what that's my husband's family always. This is always their funeral thing. Well, this is what the last person we did.
That's how it's always been done.
This is how it's always been done. And then you can even ask the question, well, do you like that? Like, if you like that, please do what's always been
absolutely.
done. Be
Do
as
what you want.
traditional as you want. Do you like that? No. Do the people that you're doing this, like, burying? No.
No.
Then why? It's just interesting. It's because, well, we've been here forever. We've bought it from here forever. We got this from here. This type, even the wood of the casket was the same of other people's wood of caskets.
Yep.
And then you got my family. Like, my family is just like, take
Build
as
the
much
beer box.
bodies. Yeah, grab as many. Like, my grandma said, take as much as you can from my body and cremate the rest of me. And she already paid for it all ahead of time. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
But, like, she was just like, everything as cheap as possible.
Yeah.
Like, which I'm great.
Most people, yeah.
Me too.
Exactly.
I want to just be thrown in a hole, so.
Do what you gotta do. And that's my whole thing. That's why I actually love being able to have this platform and did my Death Part 1 episode is because I just want to get it out there.
Yeah.
Because the more that people know, they tell other people, they tell other people. Like if you think of the thousands of listens on that episode,
Yeah.
that's 1,000 people that may not have known you could do that before. And then they tell their people. Let's just say they tell one other person. That's double now. 2,000 people know.
Yeah.
You know?
And then when you start your own name and business, there'll be even more of that too. You'll be able to get out there, which will be great. And people want to go to you. Oh, I should tell you, since we're on Death News.
Oh.
So when you left, Nicole and I went and had a bingo day on Saturday, which was fun. We just went to a different bar because, we do bingo.
Yes.
And so it was fun to go to somewhere else where we actually could play bingo.
Yeah.
And she had to leave on a death call. And when she left, there was like one game left. And after the game, I was leaving. And some older gentleman came up to me and asked who you were and what your name was. And I told him. And he's like, oh, I was hearing her saying she had to leave for, a death call. And he said he takes care of a cemetery and stuff. And he was talking. I'm like, so he'll probably meet you at some point.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, just an older gentleman who's super nice.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'm looking forward to meet, because it's, again, small town guys.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm looking forward to meeting her. I'm like, yeah. He's like, but we were playing bingo. I think he wanted to say hi to you and introduce himself.
Yeah.
But yeah, someone in the business.
Yeah.
So,
Interesting.
older gentleman. I don't remember his name, but I would recognize him, his face. But
yeah, I remember having an older man stop me on the way out. And he's like, we got 3 late games left. You can't leave now. And I was like, I gotta go pick up a body. And they're like, oh, that sounds grim. And I was like, well, funeral home.
Yeah.
I work at a funeral home job.
see, okay, the VFW is, I feel like all the cute old bars, those are my people, old people. But like, we have, I do drag, and there's only so many places if we're going to do it in town that we could do it. And a lot of people say no to the VFW because they don't like the vibe.
Yeah.
And they're so scared of this. And I'm like, these people, like, you just give it back to them if they give it to you.
Yeah.
And they'll automatically just respect you and love you. It's a very good vibe. I feel like, I don't know how other small towns are.
Yeah.
But like, I feel
Ours,
like our like area, like our older vets and like old people are not what you would expect. I don't think they're so.
Yeah.
They're so funny. Like, even
I've seen some shit too.
well, like, it's like, even when I was getting cash out, I had fishnets on, and he's like, oh, there's spider legs over there, and I just gave it back. I'm like, I don't care if you call me that. And we were just like laughing, talking to each other.
Yeah.
And it was just that quick.
Yeah.
Like, and I just love that.
Yeah.
I'm very lucky. I'm trying to get drag into these old men bars. They're gonna love it. I'm just trying.
Just trying.
I'm trying, guys. Bring drag to the old vets.
They need their drag
They
too.
need their drag too. Don't be scared of them.
Well, that's fun. I'm glad he said that out. I'm sure I
Yeah.
will meet him. I'm sure he's a cemetery operator, which someday
Yeah.
I may be a cemetery operator as well. So.
He said he's going to retire soon, though.
Oh, yeah?
But yeah. We were talking a lot about it, so.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll meet him soon. I'm
That's
sure
what
he knows
saying.
all my coworkers, so he's like, oh, I don't recognize
Oh, yeah,
you.
he asked your name, and he probably just bump, immediately found out, because there's only 2 places, and they're all kind of connected. They all probably know all the cemetery workers around here. It's all... But, like, here, I mean... all the teachers, like, oh, I'm like, there's Ella's math teacher. Here's this. Like, it's just how it is.
Yeah, that math teacher and the gym teacher, they seem to always be at the Legion.
Mark told me the craziest fucking story, which Mark is like, again, my husband is actually friends with a lot of those teachers. He's best friends with his old band director, which is super weird to me.
Yeah.
But again, small town. But he said he went on like a trip with his band with like the teachers and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was just like one adult at night and then like all these kids. And that person he said was hammered drunk. And he had to like help his teacher get back to the room.
Oh my God.
But like no one cared.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying where you're at. This is a weird place.
No one cared.
No one, I'm like, what? I feel like where I went to school, that teacher probably would have been like
absolutely fired.
Fired immediately.
Yeah. Stricken from being able to teach ever again.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's wild.
Not here. I guess. Small town.
I love it. So yeah, it's been fun to do.
So are you starting now that you know everything? Are you getting a lot more comfortable? Are you enjoying? Because you don't have to travel as much now. Like she used to have to travel. Like, oh, I had to travel 3 hours there, 3 hours back. But now she doesn't have to go to all those jail contracts.
Yeah,
it's very. Prisons. You've had a few farther, but it's pretty local.
Yeah, they've been Fargo and Eden Prairie. You know? And it's been 3-4 times.
Ooh, Eden Prairie. That's not.
Eden Prairie one day.
Got an Eden Prairie one
back. So yeah, it's been good. And we had this one guy, so that was back when I was talking about like I like being able to tell everybody they can do what they want, yada yada yada. And you know, just like you said, a lot of people they just go with what's traditional and they're weirded out by like anything that's not traditional. And I love coming across people that are not weirded out by that kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
And there was this guy that came in to pick up his wife's cremains. And he was like, oh, I just wanted to pick her up because she loved to go antiquing and we're going to go antiquing. And I just wanted to bring her antiquing with me. And I was like, oh, that's so
bitch,
sweet.
You better be carrying my stuff to antiquing and thrift stores.
Yeah.
You better.
You want to go today? And just stick it in my purse? Yeah. I was like, that's so sweet. And he got her put in one urn and then a couple smaller urns. So he has travel urns with her.
I love it.
So he's like, well, you know, she loved to go to the casino, so I'm going to bring her to the casino tomorrow. And, you know, I thought that I would go to her favorite machine and I would open up her urn and I would dip my finger in her cremains, touch her card, and then put her card in her favorite bingo machine and see what happens. And I was like, oh my God.
Oh my God. I'm too emotional this week for this. I'm going to cry. I'm divorcing Mark right now.
He would never.
No, he would do that. Actually, that would be
his finger in your cremains.
Yeah, I feel like me alive, not so much. But like if I die, my husband takes death and stuff. Like I feel like this would be Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see Mark doing something crazy like that.
Just dip your bingo card in the cremains.
I wonder, did he tell you what happened? It's probably you don't know any of.
No, that just happened a couple days ago.
Oh, so. I'd love to know, like, if anything happened.
One.
Like, the machine, like, tells you how many points, or, like, it's a whole thing, and it's all glitch. I want to know, like, what the hit was. Like, did she come through on it?
That would be cool.
She couldn't, but that would be sweet. Not even about money, but just, like, a glitch or something.
I fucking loved it. I
love it. I love it.
I need everybody here to do that. So,
yeah.
That was really fun. Okay, I'm going to end with the craziest story. So a couple weeks back, I was at work. I was working a service. So the funeral director was like, oh, I just came in from this highway and there was a really bad accident, so we might get a call. And she's like, I pulled over and talked to the cop and I asked him if I was going to be getting a call for this one. And he said, yeah, probably. So you guys just keep your phones on. And I was like, oh, okay, you know, whatever. And then like 30 minutes later, she was like, we got the call. She's like, do you want to go? Because technically I was on call. And I was like, Yeah. I mean, let's do it.
Have you ever done one on a highway?
No.
Ooh, first highway.
First highway. So she was like, do you want me to go with? And I was like, normally I'd be fine doing it myself, but since this is my first car wreck and I've never dealt with like the police.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, if you don't mind coming with me, just in case there's things I don't know, just.
I have so many questions, but I'll wait till you're done. Unless I should ask now, because I just have like, let's say you die in the highway, like let's say I'm dead for sure in the car and I'm like just stuck in like a position.
Sure.
Would it be your responsibility to be the one that like comes and like takes you out?
Yep.
Ooh, interesting. They're like pulling body parts out?
Unless you need like the jaws of life where the fire department's going to end up doing that, But then I think even then they would open up the car for you and then you would be the one to get the body. Although they do help. The first responders are always like, they're just like nurses. They're like, what do you need,
Mm-hmm. I was just thinking like, for some reason, I don't know why I pictured in my head that every single person that gets in a car crash, even if they're dead that they go in the ambulance.
Sometimes they're dead on the scene and they do go in an ambulance. And in fact, the funeral director was like, if the ambulance would have come, we would have just not had to do this.
Yeah.
But they didn't. They called us.
Interesting. Okay.
So we're like, all right, let's go. So we get in the car. We head that way. And it's like 15 minutes from my house. Not even. It's like, it's not 15. It's like 4 minutes from my house. Super close. So we roll up and they had the highway blocked. The police had blocked it about a mile up so that nobody could even turn onto the highway from either end. Mm-hmm. So, which was also weird because we're like, oh, this is blocked to everybody else. So what do I do? And she's like, I just drive on the grass and drive around the cones and get on that highway. And I was like, okay. So we're like, oh, I wonder if people are going to be like, that van, what is that van
Oh, no,
doing?
Again, small town.
They can't go over there. It's blocked. So I put my hazards on.
Like,
and we didn't see anything. We're driving. I'm like, we don't see anything yet. And then we rounded the corner. We see all the lights. And we're like, okay. And my gut was like, my adrenaline started. Yeah. I was like, okay, what am I like? I have no idea what I'm about to walk into. No idea. So we round the corner, see all the lights. And then I see on the left, just completely charred car.
Oh, wow.
And then I look and there's a semi. And I think it was part of the semi that came off and completely like was on fire. Like it was.
So how many vehicles were there?
2 vehicles.
See, I've been purposely, because Nicole said something and she had a crazy night, and we have again, small town and people were talking about it, but I've been kind of not listening too much because I knew I'd probably hear from you. Yeah.
And there are rumors flying around.
Yeah.
It went around fast. It was all over the news immediately. So I'm like, holy shit. Like I took a little picture of like this burnt car, which I could probably share because there's nothing identifiable. And it was just completely like you couldn't even identify that it was what kind of vehicle it was. And the fire department was there. So I immediately saw Elle from Bingo from work.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, and she was like, looked at me. She had no idea that I worked at the funeral home.
Oh, she didn't?
No. So we pull to the side and honestly, my husband probably would have been on that call, but he was at home with Violet.
Yep.
This was like, I think
I never thought about this being in a small town. When we get calls, you're both probably going to be 2 people that get called at the same time.
Oh yeah. We absolutely could have been working the same scene.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
If for some reason just drop off Violet quick, I don't know if it's,
Yeah.
No matter what time of night if needed.
Yeah. And this is wild because it was like between 11 and 1 p.m. It was like daytime. Everybody's out. Yeah. It was just a normal Saturday lunchtime. So we roll up and I see the car. So it was an SUV versus semi situation. And this SUV was like crunched up. Like the front half was completely crushed into the car.
I wonder how that could happen in these roads. Like, you know what I mean? Like it just seems really strange because it's not that there's not accidents around here, but there's not that many cars even on our highways, especially on that stretch.
Yeah.
And during the day.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It was, like I said, I didn't know what I was walking into. So I'm like, okay. So I'm starting to do the math in my head. I'm like, okay, well, there is the SUV and it's already up on a wrecker truck. I'm like, so where's the body? And we roll up to the officer, the trooper, the state patrol was there. And he's like, she's over there. And he points to the ditch. And I'm like, okay, so she was ejected from her vehicle. And I was like, okay, holy shit. I guess that's a little easier.
I was about to say, I would prefer that.
It's
probably.
a little easier because
Yeah.
I'm not having to take somebody out of a crunched up car.
Yeah.
And
Well, it depends on the ditch too, because some ditch have like hills. Like,
Yep.
was she down? You know what I'm saying?
She was down the ditch.
Yeah, that would be hard.
And
By yourself.
By myself, yeah. So we roll up. It's the one day I chose to wear heels for some fucking reason. I woke up and I chose heels that day.
Oh. You should always maybe just put a nice black flat and always have a boot. Keep a pair of boots and a flat in your car now. Yeah.
Yeah, I usually wear my flats. I think because it was just a service and I didn't think, I don't know, it's just like, man, let's look nice today.
Yeah.
Nope, should not have done that.
No.
My heels were sinking into the grass.
Flats and
sucked.
boots in the car.
So I get down and yes, the ditch, it's fairly steep and she's about halfway down and she was covered with a blanket. And the trooper comes down and he starts helping us too. And so we uncover her to see what we're working with. And she had not even, rigor mortis hadn't even set in yet. So her body was pretty flaccid still.
Yeah. Which probably helpful, right? Or is it not helpful? I would think it'd be helpful.
Honestly, I feel like no.
Really?
Well, it depends on the position.
Yeah.
Well, because their arms are flapping around and you're trying to get them on a gurney, and sometimes having them just stiff in one position does help. It depends. There wasn't as much blood as I thought there was going to be. Her shoe had flew off and it was right next to her. And I noticed all these little things. It's so weird how what your brain zeroes in on because you're adrenaline and then you just go into business mode. Her legs were wrapped like a pretzel, completely broken. Like I don't know how they were wrapped around each other like that. And
being ejected from the car and somehow twisting.
Or
maybe she was twisted before and ejected.
I'm wondering if it's because it's a head-on crash at 60 miles an hour.
Head-on, it was a SUV.
SUV versus semi. So I imagine the car started crushing as she's being ejected maybe, and that mangled her legs. Yeah. Her bone was completely sticking out of her leg. Her jacket was only ripped in one little spot. It was just wild. Just the little things. Her eyes were open, except one was protruding out, I think because of the impact or something. Her eye hadn't come out completely, but it was, it was push. It looked like it was trying to push out of its socket a little bit. And just the stare on her face. Like I was looking at first because I looked into her eyes and I was like, in that split second, so many things are going through your head. And I'm just like, did you feel anything? Did you see it coming? I imagine she died immediately on impact. There's no way she couldn't have.
No.
I guess I was looking for like an expression of fear on her face. Like,
would
if
it
that's
stay
frozen?
the same
Yeah,
expression?
or, because at first I thought that's what it was, but then I realized her eye was and it just made it look like she was.
Was it an older lady or a younger?
She was pretty younger. She was like early 60s.
Okay.
And so, we just got to work and we had to put, we didn't bring the cot down there because it's just too complicated with the ditch. And we got her on the blanket and then the blanket's got like, I think call them umbrella or parachute blankets, something like that. But there's handles. So me and Kay and the trooper were all kind of carrying her up. And then Elle came down and was like, do you guys need any help? We're like, we're good. And then we noticed that she had a gold cross in her car that went flying out of her car and was in the ditch.
Oh, it's so good that you guys found that.
So we found that and then put her shoe in with her. So she just had everything, she needed. And then we got her in a black, like heavy duty disaster pouch. They call them like a disaster bag. And so it was a body bag, but it's heavy duty, not just like shitty ones we'd use at the prison that would just
probably
rip.
because there's body parts that could be falling or
parts
just
blood.
To be safe.
A lot of the times in car accidents, your brains are coming out and shit. Thankfully, hers weren't. She looked relatively normal-ish for being head-on fucking collision, ejected from a vehicle.
Oh,
again, not a lot of blood.
Maybe she was ejected. She must have got out right away. It must have just been like she.
I'm sure.
Flew.
Yeah. Can you imagine the fucking semi driver watching that happen?
Yeah.
Oh my god, he's gonna need so much therapy.
Did he? I don't know. Like, did he probably see like her coming? Maybe she was falling asleep. Maybe it was. Who knows?
So that's the thing. So I'm like, okay, so what happened?
Yeah.
And this is where so much speculation was happening. Like a couple days later, I worked a funeral and I heard people talking about it at that funeral. And we're like, oh, we heard she was texting and driving. Oh, that'll give you a reputation. They start talking. And I'm like, there's no evidence she was doing that.
Yeah.
The initial thing I heard at the scene, which I think may have come directly from the truck driver, is that she was navigating a turn there and just slightly drifted. And that's all it can take is a little drift, and you clip a semi and you're done.
Then, yeah.
You know?
It can happen.
It can happen without texting and driving.
Yep.
And they were navigating this turn. And it wasn't a sharp turn, but it's a curve. And so who knows? Who knows what happened, but she drifted, and it was on her technically. It was not that. It was not the semi.
She probably didn't feel it. It probably was instant. So
probably instant. Yep.
But the semi-driver's fine.
He went to the hospital, but he seems to be okay.
Good.
Yep.
Good.
And then so yeah, we brought her to the funeral home and got her ready. She was going to go immediately to the medical examiner, which is all the way out in like the cities for some reason. Like somebody had to drive her like 2 hours out there and immediately made it on the news, and it was all over Facebook before even she made it to the medical examiner's office. Oh, it was like wildfire.
It's quiet here. It's so quiet. So when there's a noise or anything like that, like it's very traumatic.
Yeah.
Unlike the cities, when I lived in the cities, there's like noise all the time.
Yeah.
It took me even a while when I moved up here to get used to how quiet it is, because I'd be freaked the fuck out. Still am a little bit.
Yeah.
But I kind of rather have the gun noise and the loud.
Yeah, we were talking about that before.
Like in the background, the people yelling at each other.
Yeah, just the city, the white noise of a city.
Yeah. Trucks.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so we brought her back. That all happened, and then that was basically the end of my story with her there, because she ended up being transferred to another funeral home. Because I was super nosy, and I was like, I need to know. All we had was her name and about how old she was. It was all over Facebook before the next of kin found out. Oh yeah, which sucks.
That sucks.
And the speculation and all that. And I went on Facebook.
It probably was on Facebook probably within less than a minute. Did you guys hear that noise?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. In
the neighborhood groups and shit.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't get her out of my head.
Well, yeah, you looked into her eyes like that. That's, you're connecting with someone, or you're seeing someone that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Kay, she's like, I can't get her legs stuck out of my head. And I was like, yeah, her legs are pretty fucked up. But yeah, I looked directly into her eyes, and it was just, I couldn't let it go. So I Googled her. Oh, because they couldn't find next of kin. So I was like, well, let me do detective work. I found her almost immediately, her Facebook page. And I was like I recognized her eyes immediately. It was kind of a grainy picture. It wasn't the best picture. And, you look different when you're dead a little bit. But I immediately knew it was her. And then I did a little digging, and I found out that her brother has my exact position at a funeral home in another town. He's a transfer care specialist and funeral attendant.
That's probably why maybe they switched to go to his.
They absolutely, yep. They switched to use his funeral home. And God, can you imagine him getting the call? Yeah. Fuck. I'm glad that we were the ones.
Yeah, because it's not like they research before you go to your body, see if you know someone. And what's going to probably end up happening, which is going to be really sad to think about, is now that you're living here and you're going to be living here for a long time, you're going to start really knowing people and making close friends and acquaintances. And you're going to start
picking up people I know.
It was really hard for Mark when he worked in even the nursing home. He would become friends with the people in assistant livings. They're like, oh, there's Doris, and he started to like them, and all of a sudden he'd come to work and they weren't there. Yeah. You're going to start seeing that in a different realm.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens, but it's definitely going to happen. So I mean, you guys know I've covered almost every single death, every single more extraordinary death that I've come across. I mean, I've picked over 200 bodies up. I haven't covered every one, but you guys know all the significant ones. And that one stuck with me more than most for some reason. It just, maybe it was that I just looked in her eyes. Something was bothering me about it. And I went home and I was going to sleep that night and I hadn't, like, again, just couldn't stop thinking. Checking her Facebook page, checking news articles, reading. I couldn't just leave it alone. I couldn't turn it off. And I'm going to bed and I'm watching something. I don't remember what I was watching, but I heard 3 knocks on my window and I shot up and I was like trying to gauge where it came from. And it absolutely came from my exterior window, the window that's facing the lake, which is on a 2nd-story window.
Yep, it's 2nd story.
It's 2nd story.
Yeah.
There were 3 knocks very clearly, and I immediately thought of her. Like, my brain just immediately went there, and I was like, oh, okay. Like, I don't know. I just clocked it as a possibility. Her hanging around. And I told Daniel about it, and he's like, oh, that's weird. I was like, yeah, because like I checked, everybody else was asleep. Violet was asleep. Theo was asleep. I don't know where those knocks would have come from. So the next day, blah, blah, blah. Still can't really drop it. I go through the day, going to bed again. So this is the next night, going to sleep. I'm listening to this podcast. It's, do you know who Mayim Bialik is? She used to play Blossom. And she's like super fucking smart now. I think she's a scientist, but she's got her own podcast.
Yes. Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yep. So she's got a podcast.
You know how I know her? She's a vegan advocate.
Is she?
That's how I know her.
Fucking vegans.
Fucking vegan cults. Part of the cult.
So she's got a podcast, and I was watching / listening to it on my laptop on YouTube, laying in my bed. And the topic was, they had a guy come on that was something about your spirit guides and how to talk to your spirit guides. And it was a guy telling his story about how everything kind of activated for him and how he started doing this. So it's a very spiritual kind of episode. And when you're falling asleep, especially to like stuff you're listening to, and you just drift off, and then you kind of wake up and you're like, you're still hearing everything around you.
Yeah.
I had just maybe like closed my eyes. I don't think I was unconscious for a minute even. And I heard a whisper in my ear go, "It's me." And I shot up and I woke up.
I've been sitting here this whole time, but I don't know if you feel this, but the whole time you start talking, I've been feeling stuff on this side. That's why I'm sitting here just like.
Really? Just checking corner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something
Maybe.
going on. I have a really heavy household.
Yeah.
For those, it's very heavy, but it feels very heavy over here right now.
Yeah. I'm sure somebody's sitting in that rocking chair over there.
Yeah, I think we do. Yeah, it is very much like right here.
We have a chair open. It's very inviting.
It is, right?
The only thing we could ask for is for somebody to rock it for us.
Yeah.
Which would be lovely.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know if it's her, but and that. Sorry, you can even edit that, but
no, that's fine.
But like I'm sitting here, I'm just like
feeling a little something. Yeah,
feeling my something over here.
I fucking shot up so quickly, and like I know exactly what I heard. You know, so every now and then I've that's happened to me before, and I've heard a voice, but I couldn't make out any words or what they said. Very crystal clear. I shot up and I thought, my mind immediately goes to debunk. I'm gonna fucking debunk this, So I rewinded the podcast about a minute or two and re-listened to the whole thing just to hear if somebody said that in the podcast. Because I could definitely hear her saying that, something like, oh, like listening to the guy talking, be like, oh, it's me. Like you're talking about me it's me. Nothing like that was being said.
I wonder if there's a reason. Like, usually if there's a communication like that, someone connects to you. They always say there's a reason.
So I had come to 2 possible conclusions.
Yeah.
The first was the very natural. She died a very traumatic, unexpected death. And sometimes what they say is that when spirits experience a death like that, they are confused. They're a little lost. They don't know how to cross over. They maybe just cling to something.
Yeah.
That happens right away. And here I am walking up, taking your body. And I'm sure anybody in that realm could probably see that I might be a little bit more sensitive than other people or perceptive to that. So maybe she was confused and followed me home, And other one was, for some reason, and I mentioned it to at least 2 people, For some reason, I felt like there was something else at the crash site. Like I had to pass it multiple times since then. And in those first couple days following the accident, I was like almost tempted to pull over and look. I'm like, I just feel like something may have flown out of her car that we didn't see. There's something of hers, whether it's lipstick or something more meaningful, just something that we missed. And I've just been tempted to pull over and look.
You should.
I thought about it, but then my sister was like, it's a really busy highway. Like, that could be dangerous. I'm like, that's the only reason why I haven't stopped, is because it is dangerous, you know, to be walking along a ditch of where people are going 70, a country road, you know? So I haven't yet. But I don't know. I guess I just have this gut feeling that there's something we missed. And maybe that's also a reason why. I don't know.
Do you have cones?
No.
Ooh, I'm surprised.
Yeah, no cones.
We can get you some cones.
They were cones.
I have cones. It wouldn't hurt. Like, I bet if we have your, you know, go over there with your van, of course, we can bring the cones. Yeah. Put them, like, way ahead, you know, just so people know. You just put the cones, like, way ahead so people start, you know, just being aware. And then we'll have our car on the side. It's not, they can still drive, but just so they start, so they're super hyper aware of what's going on. Sure. Let's do it. And then if someone asks, you can just say, oh, I'm just checking.
I'm with the funeral home.
Because you are.
Yeah.
And you're just checking.
Maybe. I know exactly where it was. I know the mile marker, you know. And it could have, with that impact, 60 miles an hour, it could have flown an extra 30 feet that we weren't checking out.
Like a piece of jewelry she wants someone to have, or who knows, anything. Anything.
Yeah, so I don't know. I haven't felt her as much since that last, like, it's me, like, waking up type of thing. Her funeral, God, it may have been yesterday or today, actually. I feel like it's today.
Really? Well, I feel nothing now. I feel like everything was, and then
it's gone. Yeah.
I don't know if it was her, but
maybe. I don't know.
I know.
So yeah, that's
a lot. Wow.
That's my death news, and it was fucking wild. Ready? Yeah. Thank you for listening to my death news.
Well, I think everyone knows why we're here. If you're not, if you just went into another episode and don't know and you like to be surprised, which is fun, we are doing serial killers that are like active or that, you know, cases are still open in 2025. Yep. All right. So I think everyone who listens to this knows what a serial killer is. You know, it's a serial murderer. It means an individual who murders 3 or more people over a period of time, so usually more than 1 month, and it has to be in 3 separate places. So it's not different than like a spree killer. It just like one day goes off and just like goes house to house.
Yeah, like Andrew Cunanan.
Yeah, they're you know, one of the higher psychopaths because they like to, you know, they like to plan their victims. It's very methodical. It's why they're probably one of the most scariest, you know, things when we say like, oh, it's a serial killer. It's like, oh no.
Yeah. Yeah.
So according to the FBI, in 2025, in the United States, we still have an active 25 to 50 serial killers right now. Not so fun fact, the United States has the highest amount of documented serial killers and the highest amount of active serial killers this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty scary.
That is scary. I mean, because you think other countries have deaths like, you know, like terrorist groups like Hamas and stuff like that, where it's like, you just, what kind of, they're not serial killers.
No, serial killers is a whole different thing.
They're not spree killers.
No.
What would you call them?
I guess terrorists? Just terrorist killers?
Yes, terrorists.
Yeah.
Terroristic kills.
Yeah, terroristic killers. I don't know because it says 67% of the world's recorded serial killers are all from the United States.
I believe that would be crazy.
Huge change in numbers because guess who's second? Russia, of course.
Of course.
We all know that was going to happen. But it's like a huge difference. Like I have the numbers 3,204 serial killers, not active, but serial killers we have had recorded. Yep. And theirs is like down in like 700.
Yeah, wow.
Like it's a huge
difference.
Huge difference.
Sure.
Guess who has the most when it comes to the states? Let's guess. Yeah.
You have a smile on your face like I should know.
Well, you could. You know. I understand why in all of these cases. But
is it Wisconsin?
Ooh, it's a good guess because there are a lot of good ones in Wisconsin, mainly in the 70s. You guys were losing your minds.
Ohio.
No.
No?
No.
Illinois.
Per capita, Alaska, which we'll talk about here. And then next is Louisiana, have the most active serial killers right now in 2025.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, when I say that, data actually indicates that California ranks the highest in sheer amount of serial killer victims. So the most amount of people that died, but we're talking about like the actual people and, serial killers that are in the state.
Yeah.
Alaska fully leads. This is really fucked up numbers, you guys. 7 victims out of every 100,000 residents in 2025.
Wow.
That's
insane.
A lot of serial killers and a lot of people. And it's because, the areas, there's no cameras there. It's a lot easier to be a serial killer in Alaska than it is in different states just because of when it comes to cell phone data and all that type of stuff. Like,
totally.
If you're going to be a serial killer, Alaska's kind of your place. Now, the numbers in the United States peaked in the 70s, which we all know. At that time, there were 300 known active serial killers in the U.S. In the 80s, that went to 250. And then now, it's only about 50 serial killers, tops, since the 2010s.
We got this.
Yeah, we do. We're starting to learn how to get them. It is also shocking to me that people can get away with murders. And there are actually that many. Yeah. With how surveillance and everything is now.
Yeah. DNA.
Yeah.
Just advancements in science.
Yeah, that we have. And we're going to talk about some here because there are, when I was looking at this, there's a good amount. There's a good amount that we even know of. And there's a lot that we don't know of, which we'll talk about. So the decline of serial killers really mirrors, like there's a nationwide crackdown at one time, like between the 80s and 90s. I don't know if you remember that time. We just started building jails crazy here in America. Yep. And between like 1980 and 1992, that drop completely went down. But the reason is because we have a lot more people in prison now than we've ever had imprisoned because we love jail.
We do love jail here.
Yeah, it's easier to go in jail here. That's a huge difference in statistics. Because in the 70s, a lot of it's like you got driving drunk or whatever you were doing that maybe is a crime now. Yeah. It was like a pat on the hand, whatever, go on, Bob. It's not like that now. Yeah. We want Bob to go through the system.
Yeah, Bob's going through the system.
Yeah, and people are a lot more scared of going to jail. And it's a lot easier to go to jail now, which scares people who would maybe be a serial killer into doing it. There's advancements in forensic science. DNA testing also made it possible for police to investigate murders a lot easily with having the computer systems all connected. Because if you're a serial killer, just go across state lines back in the 70s or 80s and even 90s, and they wouldn't connect it. Ever. We're now in 2025, a lot easier to connect it. It's everywhere. So because of this, serial killers are not well known in 2025.
Yeah,
so this is why we are doing this episode. Maybe we'll help
solve a murder.
Will we solve a murder? I don't know. How do they, get away with it now, though? What we were talking about, they're targeting quiet places. Typically, if you go to places like under bridges where there's homeless encampments, there's not cameras down there. There's a lot of drug use. When people start missing, people blame it on something else. Like, oh, it's just a drug addict or another sex worker, when it's not the case. It's really sad. We are also seeing a rise in 2025 of serial killers in the medical field, especially nurses, because they can kill people in their care, and depending on the circumstances, it takes a while before the data starts to show their crime.
Yeah, or they know how to get around that data.
Absolutely. We are also in 2025 starting to see a lot more women in serial killing, because back in the day, it was always like less than 5% of serial killers are women. Now they're thinking it's around 20%.
Yeah. Wow. That's high.
That's changed like in this last decade. Yeah. 100%.
Now, do we think that it's changed, or do you think that women used to be better at serial killing and
actually, now that I'm thinking about it, you're right. Is it because we now have computers, how we do, and we can see, like, all of a sudden when, it's kind of weird that on this ward or in this part of the hospital that at this time of day, there's a lot more deaths. Like, there's 20% more deaths, 50% more deaths, and that's usually how they're caught. Yeah. We didn't have that back in the day. So it probably was. Maybe we did have always like an influx of serial killer nurses.
Maybe.
Or maybe serial killers are going into that field because they know they can get away with it.
True.
We always know who tops the tops. Still in 2025, it's always white men. Sorry, guys. You're always the top serial killers.
It's them white dudes.
Yeah, you guys like to kill people this year with guns. It's a lot more gun
It's pretty lame.
people. Yeah, it's a lot less where we used to remember serial killers back in the day where it was a lot like more choking and a lot more intimate.
Yeah.
It's more gun violence now
Yeah.
and it is considered
Quick.
serial killer.
Yep.
Yeah. And guess who?
Although I feel like that's going to get you caught the easiest.
Right?
You know?
You can connect to your gun.
Yeah, your gun, the type of gun, powder, like everything.
Yeah.
Who it's registered to then and...
It's crazy. That's probably why they get caught. And their favorite people to kill? White women. Now,
White men killing white women.
white women, yeah, I guess we can be whiny bitches sometimes, but why are we the number one? Well, this is in the United States, every place, but in the United States, white women
Yeah.
are the number one killed by white men.
Yeah.
So today's podcast is special because we are going to share current active serial killers and cases that we know of, and we are sharing with you ones you might have not heard of,
Mm-hmm.
and see if we can help put the, stuff out there.
Yeah.
Today. So, are you guys
Exactly.
ready?
I'm fucking ready.
All right, Nicole, you want to start with the first active current serial killer spree?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's fucking do it. All right. So I decided to cover the Lewiston-Clark murders. Have you heard of
Ooh,
these?
I know of the name, but I do not know much information on them.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I wanted to just say that in case there are people that have heard of the case or have listened to another podcast that may have covered this sort of case. We're just going to bring it right back to 1979.
We're going.
okay?
We're
Let's
in
start
19.
we're starting from the beginning.
Number one. Yep.
We're in
beginning.
1979. It's April 28th. Okay. We are in Opsahl, Washington. And there is a little girl named Christina Lee White who's 12 years old. She's exactly the kind of kid who should have had all the time in the world. You know, she's bright, she's helpful, she's super smart.
She lit up a room.
She lit up a room, you guys.
Oh.
This 12-year-old lit up a fucking room.
Yeah, she did.
She was in love with her brand new 10-speed bike, which she got for her birthday, which was only 2 months old. She had her birthday 2 months prior, got this amazing bike that she loved. And so again, we're in 79. The Opsahl County Fair is coming up. It's the biggest thing happening that weekend. It's that kind of small town event where everybody knows everyone, like around here when we do our certain summer days, yada, yada, yada. So everybody's having a good time. Everybody's around town. It's 79. The kids are biking everywhere like we used to do, even in the 90s.
Oh, I miss that though.
Yeah.
I wish I could be that parent.
It
I
was
would love
great.
to like drop her off in a corner and just let her go.
Yeah. Oh, you want to bike up to Blockbuster? Go
Yeah.
ahead. Yeah, here's
Absolutely.
$10. Rent a movie.
Right?
Get some popcorn.
Good times.
Biking up to the mall. Yeah, so fun. So she's on her new 10-speed bike. She's running around with her friends. County fair. And that afternoon, about 2:30, and again, it is April 28th, 2:30 p.m. in the afternoon. Christina calls her mom from a friend's house. It's hot. She says she's feeling sick from the heat. And her mom, Betty Eminger, doesn't really have a car right now. So she tells Christina, like, put a wet towel on your forehead. Just lay down and rest and come home when you feel better. Just stay at your friend's house for now. She's like, all right. So that's what she does. And that is the last time anyone in her family ever hears her little voice. So from here, the story starts splitting in two a bit. So there are some early reports that said Christina was last seen later that evening by classmates who remembered spotting her like near the fairgrounds where everybody else was. Maybe around 7 or 8, maybe as late as 10:30. There's just this window.
What was the
and-
time that she called?
She called at 2:30 in the
Oh,
afternoon.
so pretty early.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty early. So it's now nighttime. There's, again, in a lot of these cases, there are these blocks of time. You can't fucking figure out what's going on in
And that
between
was
them.
again, that was like the 90s. I mean, like if I was sick, were you going to call your mom? Is your mom going to be by the phone? Like,
Exactly.
it's not like cell phones like
Yeah,
there is now.
we're not tracking
Nope.
where it was. If she pinged from this tower or whatever, it's just blank.
Yep.
So yeah, it was as late as 10:30. Her friends or classmates saw her like riding her new bike around the fairgrounds, or 7 or 8. We don't really know. A couple hours. But as the years passed, while we're going through this investigation, the investigators kind of quietly shifted the focus away from the fair, because that's initially where they're thinking something happened around the fair. She was spotted around there last, and then
Trying
she
to look
disappears.
outside the box.
Exactly. So it must be this fair. So the house that she'd call from, her friend's house, this is the one where she started feeling sick and where we know we heard her last with that phone call. This started to become the main focus after years of kind of investigating this fairgrounds, you know. And let's remember that detail, okay? We're going towards the house. So weeks after Christina disappeared, her school papers were found scattered in a field outside of Asotin, and they were like just flutting around like they were dropped from the sky. Like, where did they come from? Her brand new bike still has never been found. This is all that we have found are these papers that just showed up out of nowhere a couple weeks later. Case goes cold.
Yeah.
She's 12. She didn't fucking run away. She didn't wander off. Her mother still swears that Christina, like, she would never have gone far without calling. She would never just leave her life behind. She was just not that kid. And the police did agree. So they ended up having the Charlie Project lists her as like an endangered missing child. So at the time she vanished, Christina lived with her mom and her stepdad. This is Betty and Mick. And she went to the local Lutheran church. She played softball. She was, you know, counting down the days till summer break, camping trips, baseball games, you know, visiting her dad's house, all the things you're doing as a kid, you know, in the summer. She had all these plans, all normal, beautiful, boring things a 12-year-old should be doing. And again, this is what they're focusing on. She would never do that. She had all these plans. Case goes cold.
And like, guys, I always say 100% of kids wouldn't do that. And the ones that do it, you still need to go look for them.
Totally.
Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
You don't just let them go, you know?
No, it's crazy.
Like Buffy Summers' mother in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Y'all know what I'm talking about?
No idea. It's crazy.
She's just waitressing in California. Like, what the fuck? Go find her.
Right?
Oh, my God. Anyway. So, community is obviously shaken up. This 12-year-old girl goes missing. They're searching for weeks. Nothing's coming up. There's just no more evidence. It just kind of stops at that house there.
Is there any parent that was there? His friends like, oh, they left. Like any of that? Or we don't know?
We don't really know.
Yeah.
We don't really know. So, okay. We're going to move on to the next.
Okay.
And we're just going to file this not too far back. We're just putting it to the side, okay? So that was Christina. So 2 summers later, on June 26th of 1981, Kristen, and again, there are some names here that they all sound the same, or there's 2 of the same names, so kind of try to fucking keep up, people.
I got it.
Christina, this is Kristen.
We have a Christina?
Christina was our first. Kristen David is our second lady we're going to be speaking of. June 26, 1981. She's 22 years old. Smart as hell. She's almost done with her English degree at the University of Idaho. She's the type of student that professors remember. You know, she's independent. She's athletic. She's curious. She's smart. Teacher's wet dream.
Lit up a room. Again.
She lit up a fucking room. She did. So she had been working odd jobs, saving money, planning to teach. And her friends said she was really soft-spoken but kind. And just had this kind of quiet fearlessness that makes you want to match her energy kind of person. And so that Friday, Kristen packs up her blue 10-speed bicycle. They had the same kind. Her and Christina both had nice 10-speed bicycles. That's just a coincidence, so you don't need to remember that.
My mind's just going like detective. Well, it could be. You know why? Because this is salesman? A case.
It is. It's an open case. So
just solved it.
Look at the bike salesman, everybody.
Bike salesman.
So Kristen, she gets on her bike and she sets off. She's going to be heading from Moscow to Lewiston, which is about 30 miles of mostly highway riding. So she's just, again, she's an adult. Yeah. She's going on this trip. She's done it before. It's sunny. It's breezy. By all accounts, it seems she was in good spirits. Nothing was crazy was going on with her. She wasn't troubled or anything. So she's just going to make this bike trip. somewhere along Highway 95, she's seen by multiple witnesses. And a few people remember a young woman on a blue bike matching her description. And others remember a car, not a bicycle, but a brown vehicle that was pulling up alongside cyclists and pedestrians that day. And a man leaning out to talk to her, to pester her, to intimidate her. Mm-hmm. You know the type. Well, most women know the type.
Yeah.
We know. Getting catcalled. So whether Kristen was one of the women approached by that man depends on which report you read. The stories vary, but the pattern feels pretty similar. You know, a woman's alone, a man's in a car. It's gross. We've all been there.
And who knows, if we saw that could have happened to Christina, first one.
Could have.
Yep.
Maybe she left the friend's house and was on the way to the fair. We don't know. Mm-hmm. So when Kristen doesn't show up in Lewiston, her friends start to worry immediately. Obviously, it's like, I told you I'm going to be here at 10 o'clock today and I didn't show up. You're immediately like,
yeah,
what are you doing? Where are you?
I check on you if you're like 5 minutes late.
I know. And I was 7 minutes late today. I was like, I should probably tell her.
I'm like, is she alive? I automatically panic.
Call the police.
Yes, I would.
So they're fucking worried. Just like Christina, this isn't a girl who's going to vanish. Shit. There's nothing that we know in her history that points to that at all. They call the police, and for days, there's nothing. There's no bike. There's no signs. There's no clues. And then a week later, the Snake River starts to give us some things. Yeah. They see that starts to lend us some favors with some clues. So 1981, we're still in July 4th. This is, a couple days later or whatever. Near Silcott Island, about 6 miles west of Clarkston, black plastic bags start surfacing along the water. And inside them are human remains, carefully wrapped, meticulously packaged, and it takes days to collect them all. And when they do, it's Kristen. Like, she can be identified.
And just one body?
Just the one.
One body.
Just one, and it's Kristen. Obviously dismembered. Each section was wrapped separately in garbage bags and pages torn from April editions of the Lewiston Morning Tribune.
There goes the name.
Yep.
Okay.
So, Lewiston newspapers. Her bicycle, her belongings, those are never found. Police drag the river. They search fields, storage sheds, drainage ditches, everything, nothing. Whoever did this, they knew what they were doing, and they knew the landscape well. Mm-hmm. So her family's obviously left pretty gutted. Her brother says she was one of those kids who could find beauty in anything. And her classmates remember a future teacher, a writer, and a really good friend. Her professors remember her, they say her essays were sharp. She was thoughtful, and she was deeply human. So she had a lot of people that really missed her and cared for her and knew her as a whole. Miss her. They knew that she wasn't the type of person to do this. Mm-hmm. She's not going to just get in the car with a dude. You know what I mean? She's that kind of
just
smart.
Like us. Like if one of us went missing, we wouldn't do that.
So all signs point to no. So there are parts of her case that remain hazy even now, just like Christina's. The exact timeline of her last confirmed sighting. The car witnesses say that they may or may not have stopped for her. There's that gap between Moscow and wherever she disappeared. Like, again, there are just these missing hours. We don't know what the fuck happened. So it is 1982 now. We're going to forward. Okay. Because, again, this case is going cold. So obviously, this area is pretty startled within, a certain period of time from 79 to 81. Now, 2 women have gone missing. One has been found dead. Still don't know about the other one. The area is starting to be like we're going to lock our doors now. Yeah. Those woods don't feel friendly anymore. Probably not letting our kids bike around as much. For a quiet area, 2 people.
70s and 80s ruined a lot. And then the 90s just topped her off.
It did. It sure did. So, September of 1982, this is about a year after Kristen is found murdered. We're in Lewiston again. It's Sunday night, September 12th. Christina Diane Nelson, who's 21, and Jacqueline Brandy Miller, who's 18. They were often called stepsisters, even though they weren't. They were super close friends. It's like our girls they call themselves cousins.
Yeah.
They say they're cousins.
Ella tells everyone that they're cousins.
Yeah, for sure. So this is Christina and Brandy. And again, similar names. There's Christina.
Christina, Christine, then Christina.
Yep. Christina.
I'm still waiting for Christina.
Christina is coming. So these girls are obviously very close. They weren't related by blood, just two family friends, super close, growing up like sisters. They're at Christina's little apartment on 5th Street together. It's 9 p.m. And they are just heading a few blocks down to the Safeway for some groceries. She leaves a note for her boyfriend that says, "We're going to the grocery store. Be back soon." It's a pretty warm night. It's probably the shortest route that takes them to the Safeway. It's pretty clear. It's pretty public. It's on the street. It takes them right past the Lewiston Civic Theater. And that is a place that Christina knew pretty well, actually, because she had a part-time janitor job at this theater. And it's a place where her quote-unquote sister Brandy often hung out too, because that's just what you did in a small town. You go where your friends go, you know. So they're walking to the Safeway. They're walking past this theater. That's the last we hear from them as well. The next morning was the 13th. Christina's boyfriend's calling her parents because she never came home. Brandy's family starts making calls of their own when she starts missing class. There's no groceries on the table. They did not make it home with groceries. Just gone. Their
Both
cars, their clothes, their beds, everything untouched. We just have that note. Be back soon. They're heading to the grocery store. So on that same night, on Sunday, September 12th, the night before the girls were noticed missing, Stephen Pearsall, he's a 35-year-old sound technician and musician, was arranged to get dropped off at work. And he told his friends he planned to do laundry and practice his clarinet at work. And he might actually crash there, which is not unusual for him because he worked pretty late shifts and sometimes just slept in the building that he worked.
Just like you might one day.
Just like me.
Like you.
Steven is the type of person that everybody likes. He's soft-spoken. He's dependable. He's a little shy. He is just really well-liked, you know. Everybody in the community likes him. And he had been dropped off by his friends for work at about 9:30 p.m., give or take. And this was the last confirmed sighting of him when he's dropped off.
Now we got a boy in the mix.
Dropped off at work. Same night the girls disappear. He didn't show up for work the next day, Monday, September the 13th, exactly when the girls' family noticed they're missing, and coworkers assumed that maybe he'd just taken a day off or like had car trouble or something. But by Tuesday, when he still hadn't been seen, hadn't cashed his paycheck, his family, they started to panic. You know, he was a little extra time. He was a boy. He's a dude.
Yeah.
You know, they weren't as worried.
Especially since it's just been girls. And usually serial killers, they stick to the same demographic.
Typically. Yep.
Unless you're like a Rich Ramirez who's like murdering babies and then old ladies, but very few.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a wide range.
Yeah.
So yeah, his family starts to panic. His clarinet is still at work. His laundry was half done at work, so he made it to work.
Make it there. Did some stuff.
For a while. His car was parked where he'd left it at a friend's house. So everything pointed to him never leaving his place of employment. Do you have any idea where he works yet?
The bike shop.
Not the bike shop.
No, does he work at where was I going to say? You already said where he worked at. You said he worked at like a
I said he worked as a sound technician.
That's what I was thinking. I was just thinking, I don't know what place though.
At the Lewiston Civic Theater.
Oh.
The same theater the girls passed on their way to Safeway. So, same theater. We've got 3 people that disappear, presumably around about the same block of each other in the same night.
That's terrifying.
It is terrifying.
It's given me, not knowing the person obviously, but it's given me I don't know what we know in the future or anything, and obviously it's open, but it's given me Winehouse chicken murders. I don't know if you remember that. The guy was collecting kids and then kept them all in one room. You know what I mean?
You mean Wineville?
Wineville.
You said Winehouse again.
I did. Oh my God, you guys.
Amy Winehouse.
I did this through that entire podcast.
That's why we put Amy Winehouse on the cover.
We did. I want to call it Winehouse Chicken Murders so bad. But yeah, so it kind of is like, oh, is someone collecting people?
We'll see. So will we see though?
Will we see though?
We see.
Yeah, we're in a.
So
are open.
So we've got Christina and Brandy missing. We've got Stephen missing the same night. These three people
in the same spot.
In the same spot, presumably. His mother filed a missing person report within 48 hours of his disappearance, and police actually initially investigated him as a possible suspect in the two women's disappearances, mostly because the timing and the location overlapped.
And he's a boy.
And he's a boy.
Oh, did he do something then run away?
Yeah, right?
I kind of, for a second...
Without his car.
I didn't want to make an accusation in case we know of a body. I don't know. But yeah, I'm just like, oh, that's,
Yeah.
I could feel like that could be the case.
But yeah, no, it was good of you to not assume. But I mean, I feel like naturally somebody would be like, okay, well, maybe.
Yeah.
But that theory crumbled pretty fast. Police can't really make sense of it. Like maybe the girls ran off. Maybe Steve had followed them, but nothing really fits. Their clothes, their habits, their lives. None of it says run away from anybody, even Steven.
I feel like though, okay, let's think about this though. If there was a serial killer, what instrument would they play? Because I feel like a clarinet, top-notch serial killer instrument.
I played a clarinet.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's top-notch. Like, if someone, like, what would be the scariest? Like, let's say you get kidnapped. What would be the scariest instrument? Do you think would scare you more that person would do? For me, it would be like a sweet clarinet, like something just do.
Trombone.
Ooh, you like a boom boom.
It sounds more ominous. Or is it maybe a tuba?
Yeah. I just would be more scared of a clarinet player.
I did a flute. I did a flute.
You did.
No. This clarinet, I don't believe it. Yeah. But we'll see. Here we go. See. So either way, Steven's reputation doesn't really say killer. There was no evidence of a struggle. There was no sign of flight. No reason to believe Steven had harmed anybody at all, period. So there was another theater employee that was working that night, but his name really barely surfaced publicly. He was known internally to the police, but wasn't really considered a focal point. So for a good amount of time after the disappearances, basically the whispers around town seemed to also peg Steven for it, despite it not making sense. It was an easy story to tell, and cops leaned into it pretty hard because they had nothing else.
Yeah, and when it starts to get open cases, they start to just drain at straws.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I think it also makes them stop working on it more, though. I hate when they get focused on something that's not true because they're just like, oh, whatever, it's just this. And they're like, oh, that's probably it. And then they just stop focusing on anything else.
I mean, sometimes it is like in the movies where they're like, well, we think we got someone.
Yeah.
Well, somebody came forward,
exactly,
so
like
we don't want to do any more paperwork.
John Bonet's that case, like, oh, we're pretty sure we know who. It's like, come on. And then it's stopping you from actually thinking outside the box again.
Yep, exactly. So needless to say, that case starts to go cold too. And the town's fucking worried. So now we got four.
Four.
We've got...
No, isn't it five?
We've got Christina, Kristen, Brandy, and Steven. Yeah. We've got the five. And that's a lot.
It's a lot.
That's a lot for a period between, 79 and 82?
That's serial killer
about
numbers.
Yep, about 3 years. So it's cold. We're going to fast forward a little bit to about a year and a half later. It's March 19th, 1984, and a pair of hunters near Kendrick, Idaho, which is about 30 miles. It's about 35 miles from Lewiston, so it's still close. These hunters stumble upon some human remains, and they were discovered near a small stream, which is partially kind of hidden in the undergrowth. Some reports say they were covered with light debris and branches, suggesting they'd been deliberately sort of concealed. That's what one report suggests. The location was rural farmland mixed with timber, so it's really, it's one of those quiet places around here that even in the daylight, everything's pretty quiet. It's rural. There's nothing going on, even though it's 2 p.m. It's not a city life. So searchers immediately contacted I don't know how to pronounce this, Lata, Latta, Latah.
Latta. I would say Latta. If you're from Latta, let us know.
The Latta County Sheriff's Office, which then they notified the Lewiston Police Department once it became clear that the bones could possibly maybe belong to those two missing women. They're like, let's just go ahead and contact Lewiston. At the scene, investigators found 2 sets of human remains, both skeletonized with minimal clothing remnants. And because of the advanced decomp, dental records were used for their positive ID, which was confirmed to be Christina and Brandy.
Damn.
So now we have our first tangible confirmation in over 18 months that these 2 women were dead.
Yes.
And they were not runaways. They weren't missing. They were homicide
so 3
victims.
3 out of the 5 bodies found.
3 out of the 5 found. This is where public record gets a little vague. So I'm going to just go through some of these so we know. Because again, some people get lazy and they're like, well, I followed this one story and then we're just going to stick with it. But there's multiple reports.
Yeah. And when it comes to this, you have to look at multiple things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go for what we can find in the public record. So Christina Nelson, her cause of death was listed as undetermined. There wasn't enough left of her remains to conclusively tell what killed her. But Brandy's cause of death was ruled homicide by violence. And the phrasing in the original autopsy report and police briefing was death consistent with homicidal violence. So that means there was trauma to her bones or skull, suggesting an attack, even after the decomposition.
I was going to say that means she was brutally hurt. Because, obviously you can get bruises, scratches, scrapes, all that. But when you're at a point of decomp, your bones have to be broken and, things have to, and it's not just even a broken bone it's, literally smashed.
Yeah, yeah.
A deal. That's awful.
Yeah, and neither of them showed signs of it being a gunshot wound or stabbing injuries. Like you said, that would have been, for the most part, they're sort of guttural. Sometimes a knife makes it to the bone, but it wasn't really in this case.
No.
So that really left, like we said, blunt force trauma. Investigators are going over the site for evidence. They're looking for tools, fibers, tire tracks, the whole 9 yards. But the remains had really been exposed to the weather and animals for over a year. So nothing that was left was usable. They still had to do it, but they're not fucking finding anything.
No.
The Lewiston Tribune headline read something like, "Remains found near Kendrick identified as missing Lewiston women." So it's out in the open now.
It's saying we have connect because it's serial killer after 3.
After 3.
Serial killer.
The family spoke briefly to reporters. Christina's family described relief with heartbreak, obviously. Brandy's mother was quoted as saying that at least we can bring her home. So that's gutting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice to be able to have, know, but fucking sad. I get it.
It's hard not to know what happened.
It is hard. And then you always have that just shred of hope. Maybe they're being in a basement somewhere and we could find them,
Kind of like Amy Bradley, all the words going on Amy Bradley and gone for 20 years, no body, nothing.
Yeah.
Being seen every place.
I know, getting reports.
Oh my God.
That I can't imagine.
It's
having
awful.
To follow around with that, which is crazy. Again, we should talk about that.
We will. Yeah.
We will. But behind that, so people in the valley were really obviously shaken all over again. The police are obviously feeling the heat again. They're like, we got to solve this thing.
Which they should.
Evidence is popping up. We got to put the pedal to the metal and start actually doing something. So the Civic Theater connection came roaring back into focus pretty quickly because the man police had privately been watching still lived in the area. And the other man was the theater employee that was there that night that they decided to not focus on initially.
What made them focus on him, Nicole? I know you're going to tell me.
So, again, the overlap between the victims is pretty uncanny. Christina and Brandy disappear while walking past the theater. Stephen disappears inside it. And the man now quietly named, except not really named because they really only refer to him as the other theater employee, he's now named as a likely suspect.
They did a really good job. Well, I guess it was back in the day, so it was a lot easier to conceal people's identities. Now you couldn't get away with that. You couldn't get away with having a maybe suspect and a name.
Yeah.
Out, especially when it's another employee. Easily could have found it.
Yeah.
Like, man.
Exactly. And
Good for that guy's PR.
Right?
God damn.
Yeah.
After this long.
Yeah. So this is kind of where the line between unlucky coincidence and like, holy shit, he was right there the whole time merge. He'd been questioned. Sure. He was another employee, another helping pair of hands out at the Civic Theater. He told investigators he'd slept there that night, inside the same building where Stephen was working, where
must have been
Christina
a
and Brandy vanished.
A lot of people being able to sleep in this theater.
Right? Everybody wants to have theater sleepovers.
I know. It'd be great.
Who knows? Maybe they had a little apartment above it, like my
That's
funeral
what
home
I'm
does.
saying, yeah.
I don't know. So his story was pretty thin, but it wasn't impossible. He said he was exhausted and that he'd crashed there before. But as the years passed, his story started to not really make sense. His timeline starts not adding up. There were these really small inconsistencies. Things he said about what time he left and who he saw and where he supposedly locked up the doors. It started just getting shaky. He wasn't remembering details exactly. And detectives started realizing that he really always seemed to be near the center of things without really ever being in them.
That's what they like. That's what a serial killer likes.
Yep.
So
And
they
then
show up in things.
So somebody makes a connection. So this house where 12-year-old Christina White had made her last phone call. Remember? We don't think she was at the fair.
No.
We're focusing on this house now because
you should, because that's the last place we know she was.
This is the one where she told her mom she felt sick. It was her friend's house. So the woman who owned the house, her friend's mother, at the time was dating a certain man.
That man?
Who happens to be the other theater employee.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Connection.
Great music. And not just that, but he'd fucking been there that day that Christina was there.
Really?
We find out. Yep.
Okay.
He'd seen Christina. He admittedly was the one that gave her a fucking cold cloth for her head when she didn't feel good.
I don't like that.
I don't like it either. Yep.
If I heard that, I don't want to hear that.
I heard that. I don't want to hear that. I think I just heard that. So things start coming to focus a little bit now. It's 1979. He's at the house where 12-year-old vanishes. It's 1982. He's at the theater where 3 people vanish. And for years, he's just living, the same quiet life like nothing happened.
I sure hope you are not the killer. But,
it's an open case.
It's an open case.
Whether he officially lived at Christina's friend's house where he was dating the mom, that is less clear. We're not sure if he just was visiting or if he
I just see it as
living.
like, oh man, think about being that guy and like being like, God damn it, how am I in both these things?
I know, right? Like I said, if it's just insane, uncanny coincidence.
Yeah.
I
feel like when it comes to stuff, though, it's coincidences are usually not coincidences. When it comes to this, it's usually the most simple answer.
Yeah, they're usually not. But
yeah,
who
knows?
Who knows? So reports do vary. Some say he was staying at the house. Others report that he just frequented it. It's entirely possible he was splitting time between there and another local residence. But we do know that he was physically at that property the day Christina vanished and that he had an ongoing relationship with the homeowner. So that's pretty crystal clear. It actually wasn't until 1995, which is 13 years after Christina went missing, that the Lewiston police finally said it out loud, that they told the press that they were 99% certain they knew who did it. Theater employee.
They didn't say it was that. Oh,
they say theater employee.
Really?
The boyfriend in the house. This was their prime suspect in all 4 cases. Now they say 1995.
Yeah, I want to know what the reasonings would be, like what his motive would be if we knew.
They still do not release his name.
Yeah, and again, he must just be really good,
right?
That's good at covering it.
4 people, 3 years, 2 towns, and 1 name. Never fucking released.
Wow.
He's never charged. He's never been arrested. He's never even publicly identified by law enforcement.
Is it just because it's so circumstantial?
Yes.
Everything's just circumstantial, so they can't do it.
Exactly.
Well, I'm going to still say, I still don't like you saying 99% because it's keeping you away.
It is. I mean.
Circumstantial.
But in Lewiston, the locals, they don't need a name. Everybody knows who the man from the theater is. This is one of those cases where you're like, I feel like some of the obvious questions shouldn't be so hidden.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be so, why don't we know that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do we not know for sure that he didn't live there? Did he just not have any friends or family he connected with? Like, how do we not know that? Even though it's still circumstantial, how do we not know?
We're gonna, I feel like, know that at least in both my cases. I feel like it's the same thing, which is why they're open or they're active, or we, know who might be.
Yeah.
It's a lot of why not?
Yeah.
Why is this not done yet?
Yeah. Yep. So everybody knows who the police are talking about.
Mm-hmm.
They're connecting him with these 4 cases. Okay. But there was a 5th victim, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what happened to Kristen, the one that was on the bike, that was on the highway?
Mm-hmm.
If you're thinking, how does this fit into the Lewiston-Clark murder story?
I think I can guess it, but I won't ask a question about it. I solved it in my head already.
Because, well, my first question too was kind of like, how does she fit? Like, I had questions like, okay, so we know the connections between the 4.
Mm-hmm.
We know Christina, and he was in her house. We know all the people that were at the theater. Admittedly, that's one of the trickiest parts of this case, in my opinion, is Kristen's inclusion in these murders. It's always kind of lived in this gray space between official theory and like local lore, how it's connected. Because realistically, it couldn't be. It could very easily be somebody else.
It could all be completely separate incidences.
Yeah.
Except the 2 girls who were found together that were together.
Yeah.
But everyone else, no.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But I want to break it down kind of honestly on what's officially on the record right now. So it's kind of a little bit of a recap, but I just want, again, this is an open case.
Yes. So listen up, people.
This can be shaky. These episodes can be a little shaky because they're open.
Yeah.
We don't have these answers.
Yeah, this is a very interesting episode, which is why I wanted to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so here's what's officially on record that I have. So by the mid to late 1990s, both the Lewiston Police Department and the Idaho State Police publicly stated that they believed Kristen David's 1981 murder was connected to the disappearances of Christina, Kristen, Brandy, and Stephen.
So it was connected.
Yep. So they stated that it was.
And Stephen's included in that too.
They based that on timeline, geography, and victim type, not on physical evidence. She vanished and was found within the same 30-mile Lewiston-Clarkston corridor, squarely between the earlier child disappearance and the later theater vanishings. So again, geographically, it makes sense. Investigators in that 1995 Associated Press article, the same one where they said they were 99% certain about this unnamed theater employee, they included Kristen's name when talking about the string of related cases. So yes, she is officially listed as part of the suspected series by police, even though the proof is circumstantial. What's not proven is that there's no direct link between Kristen and the theater employee. No one's placed them in the same room, the same car, the same social circle. Her murder scene is completely different from the others. Highway 95 and the Snake River doesn't really fit into anything with the theater and all that. Dislocation. The level of violence was also way higher. The dismembering and the packaging are kind of those outliers.
And that was on the first one.
That was on the second one.
The second, we haven't found the first.
We haven't found Christina, never know.
Yeah, but the first one's, it was a lot more violent. Because usually when you see...
It feels personal. That one feels serial killery.
That's
with
personal.
Wrapped in the newspaper and dismembered separately. Yeah, those are outliers compared with the likely.
And yeah, it could, like I said, it could be separate. The third one could be a spree killer. A spree killer is someone who could kill. It could be completely separate, kill multiple people in like one just snapping instant. To just happen to all be there.
Yeah, no, and we don't know. So this is where my ears perk up more. So multiple local reports, especially from the Lewiston Tribune and the Spokesman Review archives, plus the Idaho State Police cold case briefings, mention that the suspect lived in or near Moscow for a period overlapping Kristen's time at the University of Idaho. So even when he wasn't living there full time,
he was still close.
He was routinely commuting that route from Moscow to Lewiston to Clarkston because of work, social ties, his involvement in that theater scene.
So it would be someone like him.
It would be someone like him.
Yes.
People who knew him described him as someone who traveled that road constantly. One former coworker told police he'd often make that drive several times a week, and he was very familiar with the pull-offs, the terrain, and the isolated stretches along that Highway 95. Obviously, same highway where she disappeared, same river valley where her remains were found. That part does fit.
It does, yeah.
So witnesses in Kristen's case reported a brown or tan vehicle harassing women along the highway the day she disappeared.
Okay, this might answer my question.
The suspect was known to drive a brown-colored sedan at the time.
Good detective work, guys.
Good detective work. Now, that alone isn't proof, but it is one of those small, consistent details that make everybody's ears perk up. It perked yours up.
I mean, well, and also, I mean, everyone had a brown. That was kind of the years of brown, gross vehicle colors. But
it
still.
Is. Brown.
Yeah.
Nasty. Nobody needs a brown car.
No.
Throw it away.
Not those browns.
Yep.
Not
those
80s browns.
Nope. So, again, this other theater employee that we keep talking about, you can find his name if you really want to, but for legal purposes, I'm not saying it.
Sure, because it's not every place else for a reason. Maybe
it's an open
maybe
case.
He sues because, again, maybe it has nothing to do with this, which is probably why his name's up. Maybe he sues if the name comes out there because it's allegedly, which, I mean, if you can do that, that's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I ain't touching it with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
So you can look it up. I'm not saying it's him, but look it up. Yeah. But for all intents and purposes, if you do start looking that up, you might see another name, and that name is Otis Toole. So in 1984, Idaho State Police said notorious confessor Otis Toole.
Oh, yes, I know. I'm like, when you were saying Otis Toole, I was waiting for like a sec. I'm like, of course he did.
Yep. He had implicated himself in Kristen's murder while also admitting to 2 other men that confessed to the same crime. So, translation, those confessions were likely just totally trash. And
I don't think that guy murdered anybody.
No, I don't. I think he's just mentally ill.
Yeah.
The detective later said he ruled him out, but you may see his name pop up, Otis Toole. But as far as we can tell, he's just a fucking tool.
He's a tool.
He's a tool.
I think he liked the attention. He didn't have anyone else like the attention that he was getting from saying he was part of all these murders. He's like, I think that was the guy that was saying he like murdered people in other countries too. Yeah. Like he'd be like, I murdered that guy in Russia yesterday, and then I was in Chicago yesterday, and then murdered that, and like, okay.
Yeah. Sure. So I do want to mention this too. So there's a California thread in this story, and it's a little messy, but I'd feel something's missing if we don't mention it. So I want to bring it up. So multiple investigative sources, which are not court docs, place this theater employee in San Jose, California in 1972.
Okay.
Including photos of a San Jose apartment he supposedly lived in. Researchers say, and when I say researchers, I'm a researcher.
Yeah.
Another podcaster is a researcher.
People like us, yeah.
Yeah. They're not official by any means. Researchers say that in 1972, this same man, later suspected in those Valley cases, was arrested for trying to break into Willow Glen Mortuary on a night when a 17-year-old named Antoinette Anino was deceased inside.
Interesting.
So they say that he had a flashlight, a knife, and a camera, and that he even told police that she was his girlfriend, even though it sounds like they were not connected publicly in any way.
And that's creepy.
Super creepy.
Necrophilia creepy.
Trying to break into a funeral home.
Yeah.
Saying your girlfriend's inside. Like, the most you can get is like, oh, this guy's in severe grief or something like that. But
like coming with like knife and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, why are you bringing all those things though?
And people are saying that you don't actually know her. Why would you say that that's your girlfriend? It's just weird. So here's the thing with that. Obviously, it's credible enough to flag, but there's no digital like court file or legacy like newspaper clipping to point you to. So like instead of just calling it fact, we're going to label it as reported rumor with corroborating traces for legal purposes on this podcast.
Yeah.
So quick reality check. If people start to try to go rumor diving on this, if you're like me and you were wondering why there isn't a neat little link to a 1972 arrest record from San Jose, California to verify all of these research details, it's because there usually isn't one to find online.
No. And there might not be anyone there because that's just how it is back in the day. And they got rid of paperwork sometimes, and it's just things happen.
This was all pre-digital. This was like municipal level paperwork.
Yeah, you had it in like your shelf at your desk, and much paperwork do you get, and then it goes into a warehouse, and then there's probably like a certain amount of time where they have to get rid of things.
Exactly.
I wouldn't on an open case, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's purged, it's sealed, it's shoved away, it's never digitized for whatever reason. Somebody probably should do that. Maybe the people need to hire somebody to start fucking doing that.
Absolutely.
How many could we solve if we started doing that?
Putting those in the systems and trying to connect, old cases. Absolutely. Or even this, which is not old. The person's alive. 100% could be alive.
Yeah. Yeah. And back in 1972, like a misdemeanor arrest, like trespassing, would have lived in a paper folder at the courthouse and not on like a searchable website.
Which is crazy because now something stupid like that can ruin your life sometimes.
Yeah. And California lets you like seal and expunge old misdemeanor arrests, especially if there wasn't any conviction. So there's also that.
Oh, that's nice.
It is. Well, for some, yes. For others, like we could have used that here.
Yes.
Maybe. But for other people where, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, some stuff it's great. But I think like domestic abuse, I think physical, violent, that stuff with kids, all that should never be. Well, that shouldn't even be a misdemeanor. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a little different.
Totally. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, if you just combine that with the fact that most local newspapers from that era are still trapped on microfilm. I mean, there you go. Poof, you can't even Google it if it did happen, which sounds crazy because you just feel like this day and age you can find everything, but
you can't. No,
you can't. And that doesn't mean it's fake. It just means that proof lives in a file cabinet.
Honestly, it's really up right now to the people who are probably only one investigator that probably has how many cases by now open that's looking at these old cases.
Yeah.
Their responsibility to kind of get that word out to the media to try to find something or put another clue out that he thinks could maybe bring people in and get the story out there again.
Yeah, exactly. Can you imagine if this is true? Let's just go ahead and imagine that we did find arrest records and he absolutely was the one and he tried to break into this mortuary and this is all true. And then let's just assume, again, this is all just for
assumptions.
Assuming we don't know facts, we're not professionals. This is for, let's say, entertainment purposes only.
It is, yeah.
Let's just assume that he killed this girl that was in the mortuary because we don't know how she died either. We don't know anything.
We don't know. Oh, yeah, because nothing's out there.
No.
And that doesn't help people who want to help solve the cases either.
No.
Get the information out.
So let's just say that he was involved with this girl in 72, which happened much prior to Christina White disappearing from her friend's house. That could mean that there are a lot more bodies that we don't know about.
Yes. And especially because of the ones that found right away, like there's 2 bodies in that period that still aren't found. Yeah. This person obviously knows what they're doing. Yeah. When it comes to getting rid of bodies, being 10 years, because that's what I was asking about, like how violent that one was. Because usually that you start getting cleaner, the more you kill people. Yep. It's just how it is. Every serial killer is exactly the same. They get better every single time. Yeah. Or they like, I want to do this technique or go further and further with each thing. So he could have had a whole 10 years.
Yeah, before he got messy.
Killing.
Yeah.
And the 70s we were talking about, that was the highest amount of record serial killers in the United States. Yeah. At the time. Like it was wild then.
Maybe he underestimated how small this town was that he moved to after he moved to California. And it was just like, oh, maybe they won't connect it, but bitch.
And 3 people in one night, that's a big, that's why I'm kind of thinking, like, did he have a thing for keeping the bodies in like because this is where my mind's going. And my detective work here is I just keep thinking of the Winehouse murders. And not because it's connected like his kids or anything. I'm just saying is like there are people that will keep people. Yeah. I mean, look at Dahmer. Maybe he wanted 3 people at once to do terrible things to.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Who knows?
Who fucking knows?
Wow.
Who knows? So there's so that's the little California connection. I felt like it would be missing if I didn't say that, but if it's true, it could be huge.
Yes.
And that's just to connect him and finally get an arrest if it is this theater employee. Again, there's a chance it couldn't be. That's why this is open. So if anybody out there knows anything,
because if it is obviously a lot more information, we know it's most likely that person, or we can start moving on to someone else. And that's what's scary about not putting the stuff out. Because what if this guy really hasn't done anything?
Yeah, can you imagine?
I mean, look at how he's trying to scrub his name from the internet.
Yeah. I mean,
which is like impossible to do.
Yeah, well, and that was back in the 80s too. Like, again, like we know his name now and you can find it, but all the records you're finding are still saying like,
which is, there's a reason. Yeah.
So while I was researching everything, going through, there was a quote that really stuck out to me that I really like, and it goes for almost every case you can think of, especially that are these cases that are open, including yours. And it's that time eats evidence, but time also shakes loose tongues. So if you know something that you've been sitting on, I don't care how small or stupid you think it is, and you live in that area, call it in.
Yes.
Say it.
Yep.
These families are in the right to bury their dead with some answers, and it's been too long.
We need some deathbed confessions.
Totally.
Like, don't be a dick and die. Even if you have, like, you one of these people, like, your family loves you so much and you hid that shit so well. Like, come on. Just say it.
Just say it. And maybe somebody does have something that can nail this theater suspect.
Yep.
Maybe somebody's got something conclusive. Well, you just don't know. Since it's an open case, their families are out there. Their families could be listening.
Absolutely.
And if they are, we're so sorry for your losses. And we hope that some justice comes soon. They weren't faceless cases. They were victims.
Absolutely.
And their lives were cut short. So we know that Christina loved her bike and the fair and whatever 12 looks like in 1979. She's probably eaten cotton candy and had sunburn, and she deserved all the boring adult years ahead of her.
Yep.
Christina was a senior. She was a writer, an outdoorsy kid riding a highway 1,000 students have ridden without incident. And someone used a car and a river and newspapers and a roll of plastic to erase her body. And that's fucked up, and she deserves a graduation and a life.
Yep.
And from all the people that loved her and all the professors that remembered her being smart. The other Christina, she drew, she worked, and she loved. She left a note promising she'd be right back. That was it. That was the end of her fucking life. Brandy was 18. She was barely out of the wrapper, and she left her sisters with this double wound. Stephen was a friend. He was a musician. He was a coworker. And the rumor that he must have done something really died the slow death that it deserved, because the man's still missing. And that absence is its own cruelty.
It
you know?
is. Yep, that's exactly what should clear his name.
Absolutely. Yeah. I really don't believe that happened. He's missing and he needs to be found. So we really hope that these victims' families that don't have answers can get some answers, and the families that lost their family members and we've found them. I'm glad that they were found, but that's not any easier.
No.
And yeah, that's pretty much all we have. The theater is still standing there today, which I imagine is very creepy to walk past, and you get that pit in your stomach when you walk past it, and it's in your local town. And we don't have any more answers than we did before. So we're just hoping we can help somebody get...
Yes, if you know anything, call them.
Yeah, get a charge on somebody.
Idaho FBI.
Idaho, yep. Lewiston-Clarkston area.
Yep.
So that was the Lewiston-Clarkston murders.
Thank you for that, Nicole.
You're welcome.
For getting that info out.
Yeah, I feel like it was a little shaky, but again, these open cases they get messy because they're open. They do. There's loose ends.
And my next one here is going to be super fucking messy, but that's the importance of talking about it.
Yeah,
it is. So I'm actually going to go to 2025 right now in Texas, Houston, Texas. Now, I don't know what's going on with all of y'all down there, but I think and this is just my own words, there for sure is a serial killer, possibly multiple. I think even law enforcement might be involved in it. And you're probably going, whoa, Danielle. That's a lot of accusations. That's a lot of flying here. But especially in the world with cameras and everything like that. But I think what's fucking crazy is there have been 189 bodies found in the Houston bayou in the last 8 years alone.
I have heard of this.
Yes.
I had read a couple articles on it in the last few weeks.
Yes.
And I knew that that's the one you were going to do, given the initials you gave me.
Yes.
But it's fucking wild.
It is wild. Why they are acting like it's not like a serial killer, or not even that, like something crazy happening, blows my mind. It's on very small local stuff. It's starting, I think they did one thing on Fox News like 10 days ago. I think I saw like an article, but it is very, very quiet, and has to be a reason that's being quiet, and we'll talk about that here, which is again why it makes us shaky.
Yeah.
So the Houston bayou alone in the last 8 years, like I said, 189 bodies. So of those 189 bodies, Harris County Medical Examiner classified only 17 of them as murdered, and 75 of them are still unexplained.
Okay.
Now, this September, so for our future listeners, it's 2025 right now, so September of 2025, there were 5 bodies alone found less than a week.
Wow.
So the Harris County Institute of Forensic Scientists said that all causes of this death still remain undetermined. One death was known to be an accidental drowning. That would be Arnolfo Alvarado, Alvarado. I apologize saying your last name wrong. But he ended up falling in due to meth, they believe. But I'm going to let you take that as you will, because we're going to hear that a lot here. And I'm starting to think, is this a actual thing that's happening? And if that's the case, I think the mayor is a murderer. Sorry. Because why do you have that many people, if they're all getting overdosed, falling into the river? Like, why doesn't anyone help these people if that's the case?
Yeah, you've got a whole nother problem on your hands.
Yeah. So either way, I do think there is a serial killer, and we'll talk about why, and possibly multiples. But also that alone, being a part of those 189 bodies, is insane to me.
Yeah.
Is insane. And for that, I put it on the mayor.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay.
So out of all the deaths, 39% are considered undetermined. 24% are attributed to accidental drowning. 24%, guys.
Wow.
Accidental drowning. 13% have been ruled suicides. And it could be. It could be. But again, that's still a very high number in 8 years.
Yeah.
9% were deemed homicides.
Just 9.
Which is still high. The tiniest percent were caused by accidents other than drowning. 5% of these cases are still pending autopsy results. So we still don't know about the 5% that are sitting there because there are so many bodies coming out right now. They can't keep up in that small area.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is why I kind of like the mayor, fuck the mayor. And even though I'm sorry for saying that, but I guess I'm not sorry. And this is why. Because police keep ruling out foul play. And to me, that's suspicious as hell. Not only that, the mayor keeps saying, and even just said this last week, there's no way there's a serial killer.
Yeah. I feel like he's gaslighting.
He is gaslighting. The sheer volume of bodies that are being recovered, and the examiner's data not figuring out what it is. And a lot of those bodies, some had drugs in their system. And yes, this is an area where there is a, hopeless population where drugs are more rampant.
Yeah.
But like, it kind of reminds me of my dad's case. So if you guys haven't listened the first episode, I think by now you probably have. My dad's case was one of those deaths where it's just another death on the strip in Las Vegas, just another person on drugs or alcohol or whatever. So we're not going to look into it, even though there's foul play there.
Yeah.
So even if there could still be foul play, because if I was going to be a serial killer, what's the best place to go to murder people? And everyone's going to be like this and not even give a shit about it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, I hate using this term, but a smart decision on their part. You know what I mean?
Just like we were talking about Alaska. Like if you're going to be a serial killer or a nurse. If you're going to be a serial killer, if you're that type of person. Yeah. That's what happens. So the Houston mayor, John Whitmire, and police officials, like I said, shot down rumors. In his words, says the mayor. How can I say this a douche he is? I'm going to say it like with my nose.
Enough is enough of wild speculation.
There is no evidence that there is a serial killer loose on the streets of Houston.
He blamed homelessness, drug abuse, and just rationalized that as the uptick of deaths that have just like risen highly. So, like you said, I think he's just gaslighting.
Yeah.
He's gaslighting.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit of everything with that many bodies.
I think it's a little bit of everything, but I think there's definitely something suspicious going on. Again, it'd be one thing if this was a steady number.
No, this went up.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot of fentanyl, things like that, but we are going to go through some of these deaths, and that's not the case for everybody.
Yeah.
And you know what? Again, if that was a huge section, which of course it is, do something about it.
Yeah.
And that's not going down there and taking away people's homes and like, oh, that pisses me off. Like, we're to do something about it and start throwing away every single belonging they have in their tents and then forcing them to go someplace. Yeah. Bullshit. Don't do that. But like, help them. Yeah. Yep. Figure out a different place where they could tent. Like, do you have a hotel that's empty in your city? I bet you do. You're Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
Like, come on. If you have that many deaths, like that many people dying in your city, that's horrifying. Yeah. Horrifying.
The gaslighting is insane.
Insane. So luckily, 2 former NYPD detectives have issued warnings, and a lot of the media stuff you're seeing today are because of these 2 retired detectives who've worked there and said, like, we've never seen numbers like this before. Yeah. Especially drownings occurring like every single day in the same location. Like, and then in just different ways. It's something's off. Yep. So since families of these victims are obviously not getting any help from their own mayor or police officers, everyone is just being thrown as another case. Some of the families have had to take the matters into their own hands. Yeah. And one of those families we're going to talk about today is the families of Kenneth Cutting Jr. Okay. Now, he's the reason why you're starting to see it in newspaper articles, because his family will not be quiet about this, and good for them. So Kenneth was missing for 3 days when his body was pulled from the bayou in the summer of 2024. He was only 22 years old. Now, to be brief of his story and how he got the last whereabouts of him, 3 nights before Kenneth was found, he was at a piano bar down the street and left around midnight. Okay. At about 2 a.m., one of his roommates said that he was intoxicating, kind of just like picking fights. So it's like yada, yada, yada. He said that they kind of got mad, and Kenneth just left his cell phone and his wallet in the car. And they haven't seen him since. So the next morning, Kenneth's family went to go see what was wrong, like go to his roommate and be like, what do you mean he, didn't come back? Yeah. Like, that's not like him. Like, I know he was intoxicated, but that's not like him. 3 days later, his body was found. Houston police closed it immediately and never investigated it. Besides that.
What did they rule it as?
No, like a drowning. Just like an accidental drowning.
Like he was drunk and went to pee off the bayou.
So supposedly so I've been drunk. We've all been drunk. How many people are drunk? That many people every day in that one area? Like, it's just, but it gets worse. So the family was smart and demanded an autopsy because they wanted to know what happened to their son. Like, check his body. Yeah. Like, literally, they didn't even do an autopsy and they ruled it a drowning.
Yeah, that's insane.
This is what they're doing. Yeah. Just ruling it drowning. The autopsy they did came back undetermined.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You would be able to immediately determine a drowning.
Thank you. Yeah. Yes. But again, police went out and said there are no signs of foul play here, even though it's in the report from the autopsy on there. It includes several inconsistencies, too. And this is what's scary. Did someone try to mess with the autopsy? The family got the autopsy back. The first one. This is the first autopsy back. Kenneth was 5'4" and 125 pounds when he died. The person in the autopsy was 4'8", 189 pounds, and had metal plates in his body, which Kenneth never had.
Wait, what?
Yes.
So it's not the same body. How did they identify him?
No, they talked to the forensic team, and they're like, what happened? The person that was doing the forensics for this area was like, oh, sorry, I just made a mistake and sent them the wrong autopsy. Like, what is going on in this Houston, Texas?
Yeah.
Like, that's why I said, like, and we'll go in some more stories and stuff, but it's like, it's either you're just too lazy to.
Fucking lazy, yeah.
Just lazy to do everything because you're getting so much. Or B, are you hiding something? Mm-hmm. Like, what is it? Are you all in together? Like, what is it?
Yeah, something.
Cover up or laziness, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's going to happen a lot. So Kenneth's family was smart, hired a private investigator to take the case and, put it into their own hands. The investigator said it's too soon to rule out a potential serial killer behind the strings of mysterious deaths. He said, they're saying they don't have a serial killer, but I'm not sure. Maybe their objective isn't sexual assault. It's not robbery. It could be even just throwing people in the bayou. Or he's thinking like people they think are less of. Like, oh, I don't want to deal with these. Yeah. Like, could be even something like that. And that's from the private investigator. Yeah. So early of November 2025, so this month, a Houston police detective informed the family that the department would not be reopening this case.
That poor family.
Yeah. So Lauren Freeman, Kenneth's cousin, said she received a call from the station delivering the news. She then questioned the detective about her cousin's death. Like, this was a healthy 22-year-old. They don't just end up in the bayou, especially when it keeps happening over and over again. And you were saying it's the wrong autopsy. And then when we finally got the right autopsy, it wasn't accidental drowning.
Yeah,
it was undetermined. And you're just going to close the case. Yeah. Now, one of the local lawyers, who used to be a Houston police officer himself named Tom Nixon, stated that the team just had lack of resources, and he knew that in first person. He said in his words, oftentimes there's manpower issues, and they're flooded with calls and flooded with deaths that they have to deal with what they have, like the top one and the most compelling one first. And guess what ones are going to be the most compelling ones first?
Yeah.
We all know.
Yep.
So, you're not saying there's a serial killer, but I think it's a little mix.
Yeah.
So his mother, Bruno, described her son as having a beautiful spirit, and she couldn't be more vocal about that. She's like, my son wouldn't have just jumped in the bayou. She said he was really fun to be around. He was just loving. He loved to have a good time. And that's really all we have about him, because the only information we have coming out are very few local stories. Yeah. And for that makes me really sad, because this is a young man, like you were talking about. He had his complete future ahead of him. He got the mayor and the police not helping at all. Yeah. So it's just really, really sad. Really, really sad. Yeah. And then guess what? His toxicology report came back. No drugs in his system. Very limited alcohol. Like, even the friends saying that, like, he drank, he was, like, belligerent and fighting. There wasn't even that in his system. Yeah. So.
Yeah, you'd think, like, I would expect it to be, like, off the charts
like,
or something.
If I'm so hammered drunk, I'm going to fall into a bayou. I'm going to go walk over to a bayou and fall. Yeah. Like, it's crazy. So the next story we're going to share is that of Jade Elise McKissick. Now, Jade was a local student at the University of Houston, majoring in strategic communications and advertising. She was a junior who worked as a desk assistant on campus and was part of like a student orientation team. Like, she was known in the community. She was working at her school. She was involved in local church, school groups. Lit up a room, right?
She lit up a room.
So on September 11th of 2025, allegedly, Jade left a bar by herself, leaving her cell phone behind. Just like for some reason, the last person did leave the cell phone behind. The last she saw was at a nearby gas station to buy a drink, and she never returned home. Oh. On September 15th, her body was found 2.5 miles away on the bayou.
Ooh.
2.5 miles away.
That's a while.
Yes. So by September 18th, guess what? Only a few days later, the Houston police closed it and said there was no foul play suspected, and put her cause of death as uncertain. Yeah. Again, no foul play. They're saying no trauma.
Nope. She was at the gas station getting a drink.
Another accidental drowning. So.
Yeah. Suspicious.
So it is difficult. I want to say more like Nicole said. I want to share so much about these people. But that's what's fucking weird about this. They have 189 people. And you can barely find anything from these families. Yeah. And that makes me really sad. And there's also other ones, and this is why this case reminds me so much of my dad's stuff, is because a lot of these people I see my dad in. And it makes me sad because there's so much people who were not found, but there's even families like mine where maybe someone got on the drugs and was living down there and then they just disappear, and it's fucking sad as hell. And you know that they wouldn't do that to themselves.
Yeah.
One that I found the obituary for, because I was even looking for obituaries, guys. These names aren't in the media, which is fucked up.
Yeah.
Because it's not foul play. It's just another body. One that I found the obituary for, and it was really sad, was Jesse Still Jr. He was only 34 years old, and he was found this year, 2025, on April 15th. This guy was found with multiple blunt force injuries in the bayou, and nothing has been done with his case. They won't even rule it a homicide.
Ooh.
Yes.
Did they close it or is it open?
No, closed it.
Oh, they closed
They're closing these things. Yeah. What's crazy about Jesse is it sounded like he was in like a foster program his whole life. When he got older, it sounds like in his memorial, his family said that he ended up finding a home for people with autism to live in at that time, and was kind of adopted as an adult to a family that helped him. And that he was just dealing with stuff. But we don't know. That's it. That's all I know about this person.
Yeah. Oh.
And that's really sad.
Yeah.
And Jesse was found with multiple blunt force trauma. Like, there had to be something going on there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that wouldn't
not
just
an
happen.
accidental drowning.
Yep. Another one, again, just finding on obituaries.
Yep.
And this I couldn't even find or obit. I don't even know how I found his name. It was actually really hard to find. Rodolfo Salsa Sosa. He was a 56-year-old man found in March of 2025, dead in the bayou. Again, undetermined, but he also had blunt force trauma. How?
Do we have, and apologize if I'm skipping anywhere.
No.
Do we have any statistics on the race of all of these victims?
Yep, and we'll get through the stats and how they're connected, because I tried my best, because I was like, I'm trying to connect a lot of these.
Yeah.
And like I said, that's why I think after the end, I think there's multiple situations here.
Yeah.
And the mayor is just pretending it's not.
Okay. So we can even edit that out, so you keep going.
Well, I can say you're going to notice a lot of males. It's going to be a lot of males. The next one is Colchis Racius. I really like his name. I'm going to say it. Culcois, in case I'm saying that wrong. I want to make sure. He's 36 years old. He was also found in the bayou May of 2025. No cause of death. No news articles. No reports. Nothing. All I could find was where, you know how when someone passed away at the nursing home, they'll put like, you can leave flowers at this place. Yeah. I didn't even find an obit. All I found was that.
Oh, wow.
That one little thing where maybe his body just ended up at that funeral home. So I'm assuming maybe limited family.
Yeah.
Who knows? So super sad.
Like a ward of the state type of.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're seeing a lot of that, which again is why it's the perfect place for a serial killer to go.
Yeah.
Because their name's not going to be out there. And that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Also in May of 2025, so we're in like third bodies now, they found the body of 14-year-old Shannon Davis. Her death says accidental drowning, and again, absolutely no information on this child. I couldn't even find an obituary on this baby child, 14 years old. Shannon Davis.
Yeah. Wow.
More names, that only names I could really find on 189. I want to share them. Ernest Armstrong, 62. Brent Brown, 28. Raymond Hatton, 30. Latricia Amos, 57. Jamal Alexander, 31. Ronnie Ricardo Chapman, 43. Seth Joseph Hansen, 24. Michael Andrew Rice, 67. There are a lot more, and they are not released. They're all Jane Does.
Wow.
Guys, yep. I'm going to also name some of the unidentified body information coming out, because we do have some that they finally have put some information out. I wish they would put a lot more out, because there's a lot of those. So one was a woman found on September 26, 2025. Unidentified black woman, believed to be under 30, found in the bayou. She was described as 5'3", 120 pounds, with short black hair and a widow's peak. She was wearing a black t-shirt that said Black and Beautiful, jeans, and a tattoo reading 888 on her inner left wrist.
Okay.
So if you find information, I would go straight to the FBI, because I think the FBI hopefully will start getting involved in this, which they should, because locals obviously don't have the resources.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Just to get them identified.
Yep. On October 8th, another unidentified black man was pulled up from the bayou. The police has still not put any information about this into the media. I had to go and look through case numbers. So I actually found the case number, ML25/3896, if you are interested, like I was. He was found in the White Oak Bayou without any identifying information, which you're going to notice a lot with these guys, do not have identifying information. Why is that all coming up? Because a lot of the times, even people who are sleeping and homeless, a lot of times you have an ID, you have something on your card, you have a social, you have whatever. Yeah. You have a piece of mail that you're holding. It's a lot of the times you are found, but these people are found with nothing. Yeah. It's being taken off them. He was so unrecognized because of his being decomposed. But I'll tell you what we found. Black man, believed to be under 40, 5'6", 134 pounds. Again, we're thinking that. Brown eyes, brown hair. His hair was natural, a few inches longer on top, shorter on the sides. Luckily with this guy, there was a few identified tattoos that we can put out there, which is very, very lucky for that one. He had a bow and arrow with a heart for the arrowhead pointing towards his wrist. Okay. He had a music note or key on his brow, so on his face. Sure. He had that letter M on the right of that music note on his face, so obviously facial tattoos. So very identical in that. So if you know, that, you would know that person. Yeah, you would know that person. Yeah, identifiable. Yes, he also had a small space rocket with the word "cool" above his left side of the music note, which is pretty cool.
That is cool. I like that. Cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I like it. Like if somebody said my tattoos, you'd be like, "That's Nicole."
That's Nicole.
Yeah, very identifiable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Who's gonna miss that rocket?
You're not gonna miss cool. I know, right?
Face tattoos.
Yeah. So in conclusion with this, because like I said, there's not much out there. It's pretty obviously there's a serial killer, maybe multiple in the area. Besides that, the mayor or Houston police are either, like we said, lazy, maybe doing a cover-up of some sort. Maybe
gaslighting for sure.
Gaslighting. This is a perfect thing for a police officer to do. Go down there and take people who are on drugs, or I'm going to take you to the jail or something like that. That's an easy prey. Yeah. And I'm sorry, not all police officers, but police officers are one of the most violent people when it comes to professions.
Sure. Yep.
Maybe there's covering up and purposely just not doing the cases of homeless people, which I believe, just even by my small amount of research, they're not. For that, I say it's the mayor's fault, and I have nothing wrong with saying that, especially having such a large population of unhoused, addicted people where you can say that and people are just writing it off. Yeah. But I also wanted to share those college students. Yeah. They're also being found within days of these other people. Yeah. And that's not something that would happen. So if anyone knows this, contact the FBI and I'll put that information. But I'll put all the names and everything I know also on our socials. Yeah, definitely. Because this is, like, I even checked today. Today, we're just sitting here and I was like, I should just check today, see if anything updated. Because these are all ongoing. Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of bodies. It's happening now. It's happening right now.
True active.
Because the police officers and mayors are doing nothing about this, they're starting to create groups. Like people in Houston are going out and just trying to walk and trying to talk to the people who live there, seeing if they know anything. So a lot of the people might be scared to say anything. Yeah.
You'd be out there if we were in Houston.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The people deserve justice. Yep. And I don't care if, the fact that they admit, like, that old police officers, like, we're going to take the cases that we think are the most prominent. And of course, that's the reason we found the names. That I found those names of those college students was because they are sweet little kids. You don't want to think of everyone else. Yeah. But I think it's a mix of everything. So
I wonder how many could be immigrants.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fucking ICE wannabes.
Yes. Taking matters in your own hands.
Texas?
That's what the one detective of the one Kenneth's family was saying, like, when because he's been researching this kind of right away, and that's what he thinks is happening. He thinks it's not like a sexual thing. He thinks it's someone that's maybe just trying to get rid of the things, and maybe those kids were there at the wrong place at the wrong time. They were walking. Yeah. Who knows?
You never know.
Friendly. Fuck. Easy targets. So really stay out of that area. if you can, please.
Please.
And if you'll go in a group together and really go down there and start talking to people, because obviously the police aren't doing anything about it. They're closing these cases like the next day.
Yeah.
They're closing the cases before they've gone to autopsy on a lot of these people, which is fucking crazy.
That's fucked up. I mean, I know that resources can be tight, and like they said, manpower issues, and there being only a certain amount of medical examiners or people that can do autopsies, but there's measures you can take. You can start utilizing funeral homes that have space in their coolers. That we've had to do that before. We've had to take medical examiner cases or other cases and put them in our coolers because we have coolers. You know, keep these people cool so we can start doing autopsies. And
it needs to be like right away. It's such a pandemic. It's so huge that they just need to do what's right and get there's hotels. Old hotels, there's old stadiums, there's old buildings. Why aren't you using your resources? And I bet as soon as you get those people off the street, it's gonna be a lot less deaths because there's gonna be a lot more victims out there, and it's gonna be a lot probably easier to find and a lot more for you to manage. Yeah. But you'd rather just them die instead of doing that.
Yeah, just doing almost literally nothing.
That's the number. If I was this guy, number one thing I would do. In number one. Yeah. I know it's going to take this money. Like, that's what the tax money should be going towards is bullshit. Yeah.
Yes. Bullshit. Bullshit.
All right.
Well, but that's if you know right anything. Yep. Active and ongoing.
The FBI just needs to get involved. And I know that our FBI right now is also under fuckery. Yeah. So, I mean, it's just happening at the worst time for these people.
It really is. That really fucking sucks. Yeah.
But I'll keep you guys updated.
Please do.
Yep.
Please do.
All right, so we were just in Texas, and we're just going to scoot over just a little bit over to New Mexico.
Okay.
All right.
Going to the left, going a little west.
Going a little west. So we're going to start on February 2nd of 2009. It is night, and a Christine Ross was walking her dog named Ruka along a dried-out bank in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Albuquerque. That is in Ruka, found a bone in the sand. That of what looked like a human femur. Now, Christine said when they walked her dog, she saw a lot of bones, especially where they lived, just like of dried carcasses. But this one didn't look normal. So she sent a picture of it to her sister, who is a registered nurse. A little while later, her sister contacted her and was like, that's a femur, and immediately called police.
Yeah, that's a femur.
That's a femur.
A human femur.
Yep. That is when authorities went to the spot and found a mass grave of human remains. 11 women and girls. All of whom disappeared between May of 2003 and September of 2004.
Wow. Yep.
We know this today as the West Mesa Bone Collector.
West Mesa.
Sorry, West Mesa Bone Collector. Have you ever heard of this one?
Is it called something else?
Nope. West Mesa Bone Collector.
I feel like I've heard something about Mesa Girls.
And
so this is probably
And it's going to make sense because there's a lot of sex trafficking in that area, and there's a lot of women and children who go missing. Yeah. A lot of immigrants that go missing in there. This is one of them. They could all be connected. They could all be parts, but it is a huge problem down there. Like even how you said about possible immigrants with down by the bayou, which there are. Yeah. But it's really sad. So it took law enforcement quite some time to get all the bodies, because even though they were in one area with just the time and everything, they were scattered. It took a process of identifying each of them. Remember, this is in the early 2000s. A lot has advanced even since then. They found the land was owned by a home developer who operated a landfill for building waste and debris there. Now, the soil was already graded, level, and disturbed, which made it difficult to, know which was human remains from other materials that was just being dumped from the site there.
Yeah, that sucks.
So it took a long time and took various stages to get them out. Also, all these women were in various stages of composition, so they were trying to say that the death was probably not even all at one time. They were all dumped, but the person just kept going back to that same spot that year.
Yeah, that was the spot.
It took authorities over a year to identify all the victims using dental records, personal items they were with at the burial site, and just collaboration with family members on there. So out of the 11 women, 10 were Hispanic and were between the ages of 15 to 32 years old.
Wow, pretty young women.
Yep. The young woman, Sylvana Edwards was a 15-year-old runaway from Lawton, Oklahoma, and was the only African American out of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I like to say 12, though, because there was a 22-year-old named Michelle Valdez who was 4 months pregnant at the time of her death.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
So officially the cause of death for all 11 women was homicidal violence, but in truth, the medical examiner and forensic experts could not really figure out how the woman died, which was unusual. You know, no witness came forward. There was no forensic evidence by that, nothing at the burial site, which meant they couldn't tie, you know, them to another case.
Sure.
But they were saying that a lot of these women were involved in the sex work trade and trafficking.
Okay.
Not all, though, so we'll talk about that.
But there's a trend.
Now, one thing I hate about the reporting on the West Mesa Bone Collector was a lot of the reporting was say that these women were living like high-risk lifestyles. They're living high-risk lifestyles. So then I say, fuck you. So you probably listen to this podcast long enough. I'm very vocal about being open, like sex worker positive. I believe it should be legal. And it should be regulated, and none of this shit would ever happen.
That's the only reason it's a high-risk job.
It is. Yeah. It's because there needs pimps. They're having to do it in hiding. If something happens to them, they call the cops. What I'm thinking, which happened with the case I was just talking about, maybe if someone saw something, they're too scared to say something to police because they don't have any protections.
Yeah.
And it's terrible. Many of these women get abused and raped during their jobs. And yes, you can get raped as a sex worker.
Oh, yeah,
when you say no, it's crazy.
That's literally all it is. You say no.
Yes.
It's considered rape.
Yep. Many are trafficked. They're just not safe. So when I hate when they say like high risk, because I think when you say those type of things, you're kind of pointed on the women for living that lifestyle and not learning about why they are in that lifestyle in the first place and how we could protect these women.
Yeah, because it's doable.
It is. And this is one of the most known professions to man. It was in the Bible, all over the Bible. I mean, it's one of our oldest professions.
It is.
So why aren't we fixed this by now type of deal?
Yeah, it's always going to happen.
Yeah. Okay, edit. Now, I want to share some of these women's stories of what we know about them because I don't like that they're just known for their sex work, and I also want to know how women can be in that position to put them in there because any of us, I could be there. You could be there tomorrow. I mean, you have family, but life happens. And one of the victims we're going to talk about where that happened to her was Virginia Cloven. Now, her brother was murdered while she was in high school, and she and her other brother ran away long after that because they didn't have anyone else.
Oh, wow.
Virginia had to move in with her boyfriend when another tragedy struck. Her boyfriend was hit in a car and fell into a coma.
Oh.
Yes, she couldn't afford rent, so she quickly became homeless during that time. Through homeless and like tragedy, she had to go to sex work in that.
Yeah.
So that's a story of how, that's all we know about Virginia, but just those facts that we know, it's not surprising that she's there. And she needed help long before this.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's crazy. Another example is 15-year-old Sylvania Tureen Edwards. She was the youngest. At just 2 years old, her mother was serving a life sentence for a murder charge, and her father and brother were also in and out of prison. So she grew up in the foster care system.
Sure.
In 2003, she had been staying at a home, but there was abuse, neglect, everything like that. And from that home, she became a victim of sex trafficking. Someone came in, knew to target her, and was like, well, you can make money by doing this.
Yep.
Go do it. In May of 2004, she was seen around the area with sex workers, a 15-year-old baby, selling herself.
Oh.
And that's the last she saw.
Yeah.
That's her life. It makes me want to cry.
Yeah, it's really sad.
It is, because this is all we know of these people, and I wish that we knew more.
Yeah.
27-year-old Doreen Marquez of Albuquerque was last seen in October of 2003, now Calvary Christian Academy. This woman was dropping her child off at school. Now, Doreen was involved in drugs and terrible circumstances. She was known to be around sex workers, but this was a mom. This was a mother. Her boyfriend went to prison, and she quickly had to financially support her whole family by herself without having that income, and her family wouldn't help her anymore, so she was kicked out.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was all alone when
Victims of circumstance.
Victims of circumstance. Several suspects have been identified over the years, but to date, no arrests have been made for these women. no connections besides them being in the sex work in the area.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that there's been some satellite imagery taken between 2003 and 2005 that shows like tire marks and patches of disturbed soil in the area during different periods of time.
Mm-hmm.
According to the satellite photos, the last victim was buried in 2005. But it makes sense because by 2006, development had begun again in that area, which made it disturbed and probably scared that person away.
Mm-hmm.
So there is for sure more than 11 victims.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure. In 2010, George Walker, a private investigator in the Albuquerque area, began receiving messages from someone who claimed to know the identity of the West Mesa Bone Collector. In fact, the emails and phone messages are suspected to be from the killer. However, law enforcement still hasn't determined who was leaving the messages. I don't know how they can say for sure it's from the killer, but they're saying, no, we for sure this is from the killer. But I didn't find any information that really verified that. Maybe they had something more than I do.
Sure.
Which I hope they do if they're going to make such fanatic claims.
Yeah.
Some of the suspects, though, there are a few that they might be. One was a Fred Reynolds, who was a pimp and knew some of the missing women. He also reportedly had photos that he would carry with him of mixing sex workers, which is kind of weird. Sadly, he died of natural causes in January 2009, so we can't really go
Can't
from
question
there.
him anymore.
No. Another big one was named Lorenzo Montoya. Now, Lorenzo is a pressman at a local printer area about 3 miles from the burial site, so pretty close.
Okay.
In 2006, there are apparently dirt trails leading to his trailer, from his trailer to the site. Like, so obviously he was driving around the area. He had twice been arrested for violent attacks on sex workers and had threatened to kill his girlfriend and bury her in lime.
Oh,
Co-workers said that really, really. And it keeps getting worse because coworkers said that he talked about killing women and burying them in West Mesa. Like, oh, kill my girlfriend. Like,
yeah,
so
okay.
a long year, at least a douche.
Yep.
In December of 2006, Lorenzo had strangled a 19-year-old sex worker at his trailer. And his girlfriend, the boyfriend came up and found this happening and found his girlfriend dead and shot him.
Oh, wow.
So he died.
Oh.
After being found murdering this guy's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Guess what? The murders disappeared. That was at the end of when no more bodies were being buried there also.
Oh, so just like our theater employee, you could imply that this person, it's quite a coincidence to have all these things line up, but we can't really do anything about it.
Yeah. And what's weird is law enforcement kept going back on him because they were saying that one that they know he killed was so brutal and the other ones didn't seem as brutal. But we don't really know. There's so many different things of comp. I don't know why they would say that.
Yeah.
Because it seems like he's such a good case, but who knows?
Yeah.
Now, while searching Lorenzo's home, detectives came across a home recording found on camera. The first part of the video shows this man having sex with an unidentified, possibly dead woman. And faded into black into like a wall in the background. During this section of the video, noises can be heard that sounded like duct tape in like a garbage bag. Screenshots of the identified woman have also been released. They don't believe it's anyone that they found, but it could be. And again, after his death, no more bodies were buried out there.
Yeah.
And obviously this guy has it in him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously. It's pretty obvious.
Obvious.
Again, could be the biggest coincidence, but...
And having your car tracks, like they're seeing tracks kind of around that area, I don't know.
Yeah.
The other suspect, though, is Joseph Blee, who is equally fucked up. But he is a long shot, but they put his name out there. In the 1980s, Joseph was known to break into the home of young teen girls who lived by the local middle school and would assault them. Between 1990 and 2009, authorities recorded him like hanging out by where sex workers were paying for sex workers. They have over 100 encounters with police in like 2 decades when it comes to that area where the West Mesa women were taken. Or at least we think they're taken.
Okay.
In one instance, police searched his car and like found rope and electrical tape during that search.
Okay.
So in 2015, he became a main suspect in the murder after another sex worker was found dead and his DNA was found on her. This did not land him in jail, though, this douchebag. In 2010, a rape kit was done from the 1980s, and it was retested, and they linked it to Joseph.
Oh, wow.
So that's a long time from the 80s until 2015. He finally got to jail.
Yeah.
For that rape kit. It was of a 13-year-old little girl.
Ugh.
And he's in jail now 36 years.
Wow.
So hopefully he stays in there. He constantly denies any involvement with the West Mesa murders. It is actually his wife, Cheryl. I don't know if they're still married, but it kept saying his wife. So I'm just going to say that. Sorry, Cheryl, if you aren't. But she says that she believes her husband, Joseph, is connected to the murders. A reason, she said there was a large collection of jewelry found in their home that didn't belong to her or her daughter. And then she found a stash of women's underwear found in like a backyard shed. Besides that, his ex-wife, named April Gillen, also said that she believes that he is also the killer. A former cellmate also said that Joseph claimed to have been, like, around those women and, like, knew the women, and he would call them, like, trashy, but didn't necessarily said that he killed them. But that he knew them, ran in the same circles. An anonymous tip to the FBI linked the murders to a suspect from El Salvador. Police also suspected the involvement of a sex trafficking ring operating through the neighboring Texas, because that's just what happens there, especially because the 15-year-old girl was the only one who was from out of state, believed to be drawn. And if we know from her foster home, it sounded like that's where she was taken from and put in. So it could have been where she was driven there with the other girls, and that's how that's connected. But that's like one of the biggest trafficking hubs for immigrants there. So it's very, very sad. Sex trafficking rings are rampant in that area, and there's very limited protections.
Wow.
Yep. But I actually found something that a person who's working on this case, and I wanted to share it because, like I said, this is ongoing. So you probably heard about the toy box killer, right? He's connected in all this. So he was a famous killer from the like Albuquerque area. And he was someone that would kill people like in his, like he had a box type of deal and kill women in there.
I haven't heard.
Yes, and he would take like sex workers. He's one of the more famous serial killers. So in 1999, a sex worker named Cynthia Vigil Jaramillo was kidnapped and imprisoned in a city south of Albuquerque by a man named David Parker, toy box killer. In the preceding decades, this man had known to torture and kill over 40 women. Now, luckily, Cynthia got away and partnered with a woman named Christine Barker and found an organization to protect sex workers in New Mexico, and they are right now working on this case for them. They founded Safe Streets New Mexico in response to the threats sex workers face in the area and the lack of attention given to them for the violence that's happening to them. So it's kind of cool that, well, it's not cool. It's actually really sad that she has to take on, do this, but someone famous from that case who ended up getting away is now helping the women down there, and hopefully will stop and figure out what's going on with that. So by 2007, the former detective of the Albuquerque Police Department linked a pattern of at least 18 women with similar backgrounds who vanished around that time. 2 years later, the string of disappearances came to the light of that mass grave. Following retirement, investigator Ida Lopez and APD homicide sergeant Elizabeth Thompson still work on this case on a contractual basis, but no one's really doing this case anymore. It's really just unsolved, open right now. There's still 8 other women missing that were not found from that area at that same exact time, same time of work, still not recovered. And who knows? I mean, they're sex trafficked. They could be in that desert anywhere. It's an easy place to hide a body.
Sure.
There is a reward up still for $100,000 being offered to anyone having information leading to an arrest or conviction. To do that, you can actually call Crime Stoppers at 505-843-STOP. Again, Crime Stoppers will put that up. On June 27th of 2020, a 1-acre park named Women's Memorial Park in New Mexico was opened to honor these women. So you can go there and see their names. One of my things that kind of got me choked up a little bit was on the memorial stone. I'm going to get choked up. On the memorial stone, it says, "Thank you, Ruka the dog, for finding the 11 women." Oh, I know. Oh, and that's the story of the West Mesa women. And if you have any information, go out there. But I feel like that's part of something just huge.
Yeah, it is. I very much like the theater employee who I kind of think he did it. But again, I'd like to get a real answer, so I'm not speculating. I feel like it was that guy that died too, that second one.
Yeah. And like, come on, deathbed confessions. I guess that other guy couldn't because I'm happy he got murdered. I'm happy that her boyfriend found him and murdered that son of a bitch. But I wish that we knew answers between that.
Yeah, again, like you said, he was just as fucked up even if he wasn't involved.
Oh, what a piece of shit.
God.
And having the videos found, that video found in his thing, I hope they found that woman. My goodness.
Terrible.
It's awful. Fucking awful people in there targeting our most vulnerable. Our people that like need the most help.
For sure. Yeah.
Like,
it's fucked up.
No breaks. No breaks in those lives.
So sad.
At all. So sad.
So sad. Hate an open case.
Me too.
Okay. You ready for the last one?
I am ready.
All right. I'm going to tell you about the Phantom of Heilbronn. All right. All right. We're going back to May of 1993. And we are in Idar Oberstein, Germany.
Ooh.
Okay. We're going across the pond. 62-year-old Lieselot Schlenger, and I apologize if I slaughter all these German names.
We apologize every time we slaughter a name.
She lives alone in a modest apartment. Her neighbors describe her as friendly but private, but always polite. And then one night, the sound of footsteps in the hallway. There's a door creaking. Something's going wrong. The next morning, she's found dead, strangled with a wire taken from a bundle of flowers in her living room.
Oh, I always think it's ballsy when a serial killer uses an instrument that's in the house.
Right? It's like, were you prepared? Were you not? What's going on? There was no forced entry. There were no witnesses, nothing stolen, just a body and a few random objects left behind on her kitchen table, one of them being a teacup. Police collect it, they bag it, they send it off for testing. But again, this is 93. DNA analysis is pretty slim. It's clunky and expensive, what we do have in 93. So the evidence is stored and basically forgotten, and the case goes quiet. It fades into the gray of all the other unsolved murders of the 90s in Germany. It's cold. Years pass. The teacups still sitting in sealed storage. And then in 2001, German investigators start to reopen old cases with new DNA technology. They swab this cup because they're going back, again, through old cases. And bingo, profile appears. It's a woman. Unknown. No match in any database. So it's logged, noted, and archived. But we at least have that it's a woman.
Interesting.
Yes. So...
not often. We talked about
it's not often. And nobody realizes yet that this same female DNA is about to start popping up everywhere. Fucking female serial killer.
She likes to drink some cups.
Some tea.
Some tea.
So that same year in 2001, a 61-year-old man in Freiburg is found murdered. His home was completely ransacked. The authorities are doing a sweep, swabbing, fingerprinting, etc. And then boom, a drawer handle that was swabbed has a positive hit. And it's a female. The same female DNA that was on Lieselot's cup 8 years earlier. So
wow.
2 murders, 2 different towns, nearly a decade apart. Same woman's DNA.
Serial killer behavior.
Right?
Yeah. Ooh, and strangulation for a woman too. That's so different.
I know.
Usually we're poisoners. It's kind of that's our number one thing, how we kill people. It's so personal. It's such a male way to kill someone.
It is.
Yeah.
It is if you think about it. Okay, so we found the second case with the same
8 years later.
8 years later. Cases keep piling up. And I'm talking about like a lot of cases. There's too many to go through them all. So we're going to say this DNA, this woman is found on cases at a break-in at a summer home, a drug user's syringe in a park,
really,
a stolen car abandoned near the French border,
what?
A petty theft gone wrong, and each time the forensics teams are getting this unknown female's DNA profile, right? But it doesn't make any sense. These crimes range from messy to methodical,
or
rich,
genius.
poor.
Like if you're like a murderer and you could just keep someone's DNA on you that just like fucks like a woman, even though you're a guy, and just like touch it and little things, just to fuck with people.
Smart.
Right?
Yeah, right? You do the same for like a fingerprint, like chop off somebody's hand and just falsely plant it places.
Randomly just put it places. Yeah.
Smart. So again, they're everywhere. They're every kind. They're from Germany to Austria to France. Wow. This woman's all over the place. So by the mid 2000s, this legend is like building, you know, female serial killers roaming across Europe. Others start to believe that maybe she's a genius. She's a demon. The detectives joke that she must have an army of clones. But the popular theory actually seems to be that she is a lady of the night, a sex worker.
Ooh, maybe a high paid one so she gets to travel.
It's all over the place.
Yeah.
And then comes April 25th of 2007. So we're in Heilbronn, Germany. 2 police officers, Michelle Kaiswetter, 22, and her partner, who I guess doesn't have a name, or I forgot to write it, 24. They're parked in their patrol car during a lunch break when gunfire breaks out. 2 shots, and Michelle is killed instantly with a bullet right through her head, and her partner is gravely wounded but somehow survives. And maybe that's why I can't find the name. It's because they survived and they're like, I don't want my name on shit. It's Germany. Who knows
It's Germany.
what's going on in Germany?
Crazy over there.
So these 2 officers are killed. Their police weapons and their handcuffs completely vanish. And it's super quick. It's really brutal. And within hours, the forensics team is swarming the scene. So they dust the car, the handles, the interior, and I'm sure you can guess. Here we go again.
This person is hardcore. Like, I'm going to give them some, like, this person's just, like, living life on the edge like they're in a Western movie.
Right?
Yeah.
It feels like a movie.
It does.
It does. And this is where the myth starts exploding. The tabloids christen her Die Frau Ungesicht, the woman without a face, or the Phantom of Heilbronn. So we've got a faceless killer spanning 15 years, 3 countries, 40 plus crimes.
Yeah.
Not always deaths, like someone's like
just
petty
crimes.
theft, but crimes.
Or
40
a
plus
needle,
crimes.
a drug needle. Like,
Right.
What?
She's everywhere, but she's nowhere. Theories are multiplying. Maybe she's drifting with like caravans across the border. Maybe she's a junkie. Maybe she's swapping identities. Some think she's a spy or part of an organized ring. Police start releasing sketches based on pure speculation.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, sketches.
There
What are you
is
doing?
a wanted picture that they've completely fabricated of this woman with like sharp eyes and like maybe dark hair. Like, where are you getting this?
Where are you getting this?
So a giant reward goes out, one of the biggest in German history. Officers are beginning to check like every female suspect, every arrest, every immigrant checkpoint. They're interrogating homeless women, sex workers, and nothing. They're not finding anybody among all these people they're stopping. But again, this DNA keeps showing up. Burglary scene in Austria, on a toy gun, on a piece of cookie dough stolen from a kitchen.
Wow.
And I'm not even joking. Like, it's like this woman is committing crimes just for fun. Like, she's like fucking taunting them everywhere.
I kind of like, if she didn't murder people so I would be like, man, this woman sounds amazing.
Yeah, I know.
Like, wow. What a life. Makes you feel like you haven't done much with your life.
I know.
Have you went across the border? Did this?
It's crazy.
Cookie doughs? Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
I would love if she has no idea, like maybe she's just so drugged out she has no idea that people are searching for her, but she's just doing all these crazy, like just not even realizing it. Makes me like it in my head more of how I picture her as just this wild
She's a wild woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you said, it does feel like a movie. Feels like a movie. Okay, so we said she's got all these crimes still fucking going. Fucking taunting police, whatever the fuck she's doing.
Sounds crazy.
Who knows?
And somehow murdering people. Well, maybe she wasn't the murderer. Maybe she was part of a group and just her DNA was there. The one that didn't murder the lady. But like, man, you're going doing that with a police officer and then you're going to go murder someone with something that's in their house.
Yeah.
Like,
and go steal some cookie dough.
Ballsy.
It makes me want cookie dough.
It does sound good.
It sounds really good. Okay, so then comes 2009, you guys. 2009. A man's body is found in France, burned beyond recognition. They test it for DNA to identify him. And the results come back as the Phantom of Heilbronn.
Interesting.
Female's DNA, except the body belonging to a man.
How is that? My mind was going like, well, that doesn't make any sense either, because you would have your DNA would match your it's just biological DNA. I don't know how it would be any different.
Yeah, that was my first thought too. I was like, it's trans man, female DNA on a male corpse.
An F. What is it? The person who has both sexes.
Hermaphrodite.
Hermaphrodite, maybe.
So the lab techs, they're double checking. They're thinking they've made a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, it is the same profile.
Wow.
They're not making a mistake. And this is where everything starts to unravel. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
So over a decade of work starts collapsing in on itself as they finally identify this woman. She works at a cotton swab factory in southern Germany. And she works for the same company that supplies evidence kits to police departments across Europe.
No. This makes sense.
This is not a killer.
Yeah.
This is a DNA issue. There's no female serial killer.
Oh.
The swabs had been sterilized for bacteria, perfectly fine for medical use, but not treated to destroy human DNA. And one of the women working in the factory, without knowing it, was leaving tiny microscopic traces of her own DNA on the cotton tips before they were packaged and shipped out.
Oh my goodness.
Those swabs were then obviously used at dozens of crime scenes and more.
Yeah.
Each one planting her DNA wherever it touched. So for 16 years, police were basically just hunting a ghost in a lab.
Yeah. Oh, probably just like so much stuff that could have been caught that wasn't.
Yep. And the woman whose DNA haunted Europe was obviously completely innocent. She's probably just packing boxes, like listening to the radio, living her best life.
Can you imagine if she did just like a normal thing, like a 23andMe now, like if that wasn't discovered, or just something stupid?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden she has like the FBI or their version of that, like knocking down her door. And she's like, what?
Oh, what do you mean? Yeah. I know her genetic fingerprint is like one of the most infamous in history now.
Yeah. Oh my
just
goodness,
because
that's
of that.
crazy.
And because of her, or really just because of her own mistakes, dozens of real cases unfortunately went cold.
Yeah.
But we know now, real victims happen to lose justice. Real killers slipped away. And that's all just because
That one little thing.
that one little thing. And we worship DNA now.
We do.
Why would we have any reason to believe otherwise?
I think you can't just focus on DNA, and I think we've went too much on just focusing on DNA. Like, for example, I think that's what's happening with JonBenet Ramsey, and the reason it's not getting solved. The case we really focus on, there's some DNA on her underwear.
Yeah.
And I believe, and it's micro, like it could fingerprint, like it's not like a blood or like a semen thing.
Yeah.
And I think it's like that could just be someone working at whatever place was doing the underwear.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah, we talked about that as a possible issue.
Yeah, and they purposely say, like, there's people out there. It's like, no, this person for sure, like, I'm not going to name names, but there's a few people, like, even in the family, where you're just like, oh, there's a possibility, but they just say, nope, it can't be because of the DNA.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's kind of where you're only focusing on that one thing that could easily be a situation like this, where it's just your worker's finger got somewhere.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yep, we worship it.
We do.
So yeah, after that whole debacle, Europe completely overhauled forensic protocols, and by 2016, there was a new international standard, basically to ensure all forensic swabs are free of human DNA now.
Yeah.
Because of this case.
Well, yeah, there should be.
Yeah.
It needs to be.
Yep. So that is the Phantom of Heilbronn.
Nice,
I basically
you.
pulled the wool over your eyes.
I
was pranked you guys.
I was prank. I was trying so much. I'm like, this woman sounds amazing.
Wasn't it a good story?
Yeah.
You guys will post her wanted photo as well. The police.
Yeah, compared to what she looks like. That's what they can't want.
That's the Phantom of Heilbronn. That's the female serial killer made up by the
Oh
police.
my gosh.
So we'll post that on our social media if you'd like to see that, or you can look it up.
Interesting.
But I don't know. I just thought I'd end us on a funny fake open case.
Love it. Thank you for doing that.
You're welcome. We had to lighten the load. Oh, look, I got a little.
Yeah, especially because my stuff was so sad. I was so sad.
Yeah.
Oh, so sad.
So obviously, if anybody has any tips on any of our cases, we will post where you can reach out and
or your ideas, or if you're from the area, because again, a lot of these open cases, there's not much information out there.
And
we
hey,
want to know
if you're
all of it.
from an area or even in a different country, if you're from somewhere where there's something suspicious happening, like what's happening in Houston, and you want us to talk about it or look into it, like
tell us.
We'll look into it if nobody else is.
Absolutely.
So just reach out to us at weirdos@girlsgoneweird.com or on our socials. I hope these people can get some justice.
I know, me too. I was about to say we have to talk about Derry, the show Welcome to Derry. Before we leave, because we told all of our listeners our last episode to try to get a few episodes in.
Yeah, so if anybody else has been watching it, Welcome to Derry, we are up to our third episode. We still have to watch the fourth.
It's very Stephen King. Even if they never said this was Stephen King, it's so Stephen King.
Yeah.
Like just the creatures and all the random things. I don't like, though, that there's not more Skarsgård in it.
I'm hoping there will be more.
Because they're his picture. Like, they really put his picture as, like, a face of it. And I know, like, he's under the executive producing stuff. And I know, if you guys know the character, Ed, if you read the books, the character's a shapeshifter. So if you guys don't know, like, how does he change into all these... It's just his character's a shapeshifter. Yeah. He's whatever is scariest to whoever they're with, because he eats off kids' fears. So, but I'm waiting for some Skarsgård action.
It's pretty fucking brutal, though, right?
Yeah.
Were you expecting it to be that gory?
No.
I wasn't either. I was like, oh.
And I like gory. I love the scene. I love the scene. Oh, he'd truly be murdered. But I did. In the theater.
The theater was fucked.
Yes.
They
with, like the arm, the little girl thing was like, oh my God. Or that thing came in. Like, of course. Yeah. I hope you're not listening to this if you've. This is spoilers all over.
Yeah. If you're listening right now, you're watching it with us.
But yeah, there's like creature come down, like eat the arm off that little girl, and she's still holding on to the arm.
I know.
That's fucked up.
It was so fucked.
Yeah.
And they went ahead, and the first episode, they really let it up to the fact that these are going to be your characters. And then Ned Starked us from Game of Thrones, and they're like, not, and they just killed them all.
I know. That's one thing I will give a negative to this show that I don't like, is there's so many character stories, and I'm trying to like figure it out, and that like it's
you don't know who to get invested in.
No, there's so many random characters that it's just like, oh, this is a lot of people I have to mentally think about.
I feel like it'll come together in a way that we're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But it's
I recommend. We'll tell more about it, but it's pretty gory.
That's just a little preview, because we are early in the series.
We got the fourth episode that just came out, so we'll have to watch that.
I'd like to watch that tonight. After bingo, maybe I'll do that. Come over, we'll watch it together.
That's true, I could.
But so if you'd like to follow along, we'll probably talk a little bit more in depth as the season goes on. And I want to start writing a little bit, maybe I'll probably write some notes on the episode that I watched, because I'm like, I have a terrible memory, but it's fucked up. Go watch it.
Let us know if you guys like it. And should we go out?
Let's do it.
All right, ready? Bye.
All right, bye.
Until next time, this has been Nicole and Dini with Girls Gone Weird.
Girls Gone Weird.